yours? This is one. So yours is, yeah, that's yours.
No, where's mine? Oh, he's had tape on. That's mine.
Oh. Do you want me to, I can switch
Yeah,
it.
that's my spit on that.
Their defense has been struggling, so they should be able to score. You should be able to run the ball. Okay, you're plugged in. Okay. Mic
Checks in the mail. Check 1 2 3 3 2 1.
Mic check 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Dan, do you want to talk?
1 2 3 3 2 1.
Okay, you're fine. Crowd mic. We can actually have a crowd mic this time. He's like, I can open the full window, so I just set it over there.
Well, if the wind was blowing, you'd have it closed. You'd open that crap down below and stick it
Okay.
in there.
Is there an event that you would like announced right here?
2 weeks.
Okay, that works. Okay, and then mine is. We're going to be going on the air about 2 minutes. If Isaac isn't here, I'll just do his part. I think it's
You see him running?
Mic check 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 1 2. Buckle my shoe. Good afternoon, O'Gorman fans. We'll be going on the air shortly at Howard Wood Field. How about those Cowboys?
But they got to play Brady.
They already played first game of the year. That's all we lost.
Your hard work, effort, and commitment are appreciated by your teammates,
Bad
your
pass
coaches, your school, and everyone involved with this program. Let's meet our class of 2021 seniors and their parents. First, for cheerleaders, Kieran Engelbrecht, daughter of Terry Vandervoort.
Jeez, no parents here at all. Wow, look at this.
Okay, we have 22 11, 21 36. We have about 30 seconds.
Shut up, one more time. Senior Kieran Engelbrecht, daughter of Terry Vandervoort.
All right, Dan.
Hardly any parents here already.
Senior Caitlin Erickson, daughter of Julianne and Tony Erickson.
How many seniors are on the team? 1?
2 on the football team. I don't know, like on the cheerleading or anything, how many they have.
Oh, yeah, that's why he's standing down there. There's one football player down there. That was it.
All right, 5 seconds.
Hansel, daughter of Melinda Hansel.
That'd be hard starting a new high
You're
school.
listening to a special presentation from the Real Presence Radio Network. On Real Presence Radio, welcome to the Knights Game Day Show.
And welcome everyone to Howard Wood Field in Sioux Falls, South Dakota for the regular season finale football game featuring the first ever matchup between the visitors, the Sioux Falls O'Gorman Knights at 4-4 on the season, And the home team tonight, the number 5 ranked Sioux Falls Jefferson Cavaliers, also at 4-4. I'm Brett Byler with Real Presence Radio, along with Dan Scoop Johnson, and Isaac Struck will be with us shortly. This is a game with a lot of playoff implications going on, and the game following us will have as well playoff implications with Sioux Falls Washington and Sioux Falls Lincoln playing the nightcap. That's an 8 o'clock start. And basically in the standings right now, 4 of the 5 teams playing tonight are filling those 3 through 7 slots right now, with Roosevelt being the only other team in there. And if you look at it as well, Roosevelt, O'Gorman, Washington, and Jefferson right now are all currently 4-4. So we'll know tomorrow how the playoffs shake out, who's playing who. But right now it's just a mesh of a lot of Sioux Falls teams, and who wins tonight will be heavy indications on who will be hosting next week, and also then who will be on the road. And Dan Johnson's Mr. Prognosticator. He's got the player of the game right the last 2 weeks. So Dan, I don't know how good your math is, but can you figure out this how everything's going to go tonight? Who's going to be what seed?
Well, welcome, Isaac. Isaac just got in. Isaac, being a student teacher, the students come first. So,
yeah, absolutely.
I picked it here, but I didn't win in Vegas 2 weeks ago. I mean, how did that work? Anyway, so with that, I mean, it's time, folks. Let's get your popcorn ready tonight, because it is time for high school football tonight. And I tell you what, it's going to be interesting. Like you said, Brett, come down. There's 3-4 teams there. I look for Gorman to dominate. Jefferson's kind of struggling a little bit. I look for them to dominate the game tonight, and we're going to come out, and I'm going to go for the prediction. We're going to come in number 3. And we're going to host next Thursday night.
So that means you're predicting a Washington win over Lincoln tonight.
Yes,
so that's
Lincoln's been struggling. So is Washington, but I'm gonna go with the Patriots.
Well, to me, that's almost kind of like a pick-em game too. I mean, I don't really know if there's one team that's drastically better than the other. So, but that's the way O'Gorman can get to number 3. Is if Lincoln would lose to Washington, then O'Gorman would win tonight, I believe, and then that's how it could happen. And Roosevelt's right in there too, Isaac, and they're a team, maybe the hottest team in state, a team that started off really poorly like O'Gorman, but now they're really catching stride.
Well, I think that they found their identity. Obviously, earlier in the year, they were trying to run the ball and pass the ball just about as equal as they could. And as of the last few weeks, it's just been a run-heavy offense for the Roosevelt Rough Riders, and they've been riding senior Tyree Nave. He had 4 touchdowns against Lincoln the other weekend, had multiple touchdowns in their win as well over Rapid City. It's just he's been able to get things going early in the first half, and something that we didn't see early on in the season, especially that ever-long Dakota Bowl game, is Roosevelt jumping on teams early. I mean, they had Lincoln 35-7 last week, and just a comfortable cruise, easy win. And they gave Brandon a game as well. I mean, this is just a team that has really hit their stride as of late.
Well, they have that huge offensive line too, probably the biggest offensive line, them and Harrisburg in the state too. And I think O'Gorman in a way might have got a little lucky to Dakota Bowl. The game got called at the end of the first half, because at that point Roosevelt was really just kind of pounding us on the ground, and then he had that break and get a day to recover. But definitely not surprising with just the talent on the team that eventually they're going to figure it out. And with a quarterback that hadn't played quarterback in a year, you know it's going to be a little bit rough. But Kim Nelson has those boys playing well right now.
But we're peaking. We're peaking right now.
Yeah, we're hitting our stride
there
as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want to play O'Gorman or Roosevelt if I was any of the teams in the South Dakota AAA football. I mean, both teams coming in hot. I expect this to be a kind of a shootout game. You already know that Jefferson's going to be able to spread the ball around the field offensively, but can they contain this hot O'Gorman offense as well on the defensive end? O'Gorman really been putting things together this last couple of weeks.
So you're listening now. You're tuning in to 94.5 FM Sioux Falls, 91.3 FM Hartford, online at realpresenceradio.com. Click now, 94.5, 91.3. And our mobile app, when you get home tonight after work, turn on Real Presence YouTube, Real Presence Radio Sioux Falls, and you can listen and watch the game right here from Howard Field. So let's talk about the game last week. They dominated here in the Knights, won their 3rd straight. Defeating here in 46-0 at the MAC for senior night. Great night for the seniors. O'Gorman was dominant both sides of the ball. They totaled 364 yards in offense. Dana Bringer threw 4 touchdowns. I still think you're working with him. And, the Knights held the Tigers only 51 total yards and only allowed the Tigers for 4 first downs. Big difference from 5 games ago. Once you say, let's go back to the Lincoln game. Totally opposite from the Lincoln game.
Yeah, they're just moving the ball so confidently on offense, and like we had mentioned earlier in past broadcasts, kind of finding Maverick Jones as that go-to running back for us has really helped. Nate Ratzloff moving up to that offensive tackle spot, opening up that offensive running back position, and Maverick Jones has stepped in and played well and beyond what a sophomore is expected to do, especially a sophomore that didn't really get any playing time his freshman year. So being able to establish the run with Maverick Jones has been really big, as well as being able to pass the ball around the field. I think Bennett's really getting comfortable in the offense, starting to settle in more. He's progressing in his reads. I just think that the Knights offensively are coming together, in part just with the amount of time they've had together already now, and they're really having that schedule that they did tough right out of the gate with a young group of guys is always tough, but they are really coming together now.
Okay, the Knights' opponent tonight, as Brett mentioned earlier, is the 5th-ranked Cavaliers of the newest high school in South Dakota, Jefferson Cavaliers. They're 4-4 in the season. They're coming off with a big loss last week to number 1 Harrisburg, 42-24 in the game that tied 21-all going into halftime. Harrisburg then took over Jefferson 21-3 in the second half. Tonight's the first ever meeting between the Sioux Falls O'Gorman Knights and the Sioux Falls Jefferson Cavaliers. The Cavaliers are led by their talented dual threat. I tell you what, it's
almost an understatement.
Yeah, that's a double shot. Big, from Taylor Ashley and the big receiver Griffin Wilde. I tell you what, those boys, they can play some football watching them. The Cavaliers, they started 4-1, as we mentioned. They've lost 3 straight games to Roosevelt, Lincoln, and Harrisburg. O'Gorman starting the season 1-4. Now they've won 3 straight games. Okay, it's kind of a mental edge, with O'Gorman coming in tonight's game with 3 straight wins compared to Jefferson, 3 straight losses. How do you get the team ready for that? What adjustments as a coach and as a player?
Jefferson's going to be hungry for a win, especially on a senior night for them. This is a big night for them, as they obviously want to get back into the win column before playoffs, but recognizing the very few seniors that they have that decided to make the switch over and play their last year of football at Jefferson High School.
2 seniors,
yep,
Isaac.
2 seniors. So obviously recognizing those 2 seniors is going to be cool, but also just getting a win at the end of the year. They've got 3 straight losses. They're trying to get back on the board and hope to secure a home field game for the playoffs. But as of right now, the way that things are going, it's going to be basically anybody's chance at it tonight with a fantastic slate of ball games. And then O'Gorman, 3 straight wins. They're looking to keep it rolling and gain one of their opportunities at a home field advantage in the playoffs.
So Ashley, the Knights know him because last year he played for the Rough Riders. He came in O'Gorman last year and threw for the rushed and 5 touchdowns in the Dakota Bowl. It was his only 3rd career start. He's a player that can hurt you. He's fast, but also he can run. He's extremely fast. Okay, I think we got Landry and Elpers had terrific games last week from the defensive in the ends. They contained very well against Huron. These 2 players tonight, they're going to have to do the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really important for both Rush and David to get back to the quarterback, and it's going to be more about containing Taylor Ashley tonight. It's not going to be so much of being able to just get in the backfield and knocking him down, but when you get into the backfield, you got to break down your feet, slow down, wrap him up, get him to his legs, or get to his legs first, because he is shifty as all get out. He's able to shake off a lot of tackles and do a lot of things really well offensively and with his feet. And in order to keep him quiet tonight, they're going to have to silence his feet a little bit, throw some pressure at him, maybe bring a linebacker just to kind of spy and run around the field with him, because he's that much of a threat on with his legs. And then his passing game is also phenomenal, able to complete the ball all over the field. I think he's best when he's on the run, letting go of the football. So it's important tonight to make sure that he's not getting out of the pocket. We're making him throw those on-time, quick routes. And that also helps keep Griffin Wilde from exploding on you in those broken down secondary moments after a scramble.
Here's us all about the offense. Ground and pound. Okay, Gorman ran the ball 150 yards per game with their 3-game win streak. Last week, Gavin Ross for Harrisburg ran the ball 38 times for 283 yards versus Jefferson. Okay, what do you think Coach Popinga's offensive game plan tonight? Will he run heavy run against these guys, or what is he going to pass?
I think that they're going to try to heavy run on them. I think he said last week that they really want to set the tempo with their ability to run the football, and I think that that's going to be huge tonight, especially now you get a test against a Sioux Falls team. You're not playing the Rapid City schools in Huron anymore. You get another test at the Sioux Falls school. Could be a rival in the future, but you want to make sure you get off to a good start. And I think the best way to get off to a good start is on the ground, especially with a team that's been struggling defending the run and a team that's been hot rushing the ball lately. Obviously, they're going to try to stick to their guns and throw the ball a little bit, but I think you're going to see more runs tonight than you would have expected earlier on in the season.
Okay, passing. Dannenberg last week, 17 passes to 6 different receivers. what an entourage of receivers that we have that he can throw to. That's what I like about it. It's open. We have some great hands out there that can catch the ball. What your thoughts there?
Absolutely. I mean, we just have a plethora of receivers right now and some guys coming back, especially with Rush Landry and David Alpers, two big targets, and then Peyton Hagee, who's been kind of the downfield threat for O'Gorman lately in these past few weeks. Being able to win those one-on-one matchups has been huge for O'Gorman. But now you've got a couple of guys that are trickling back into the lineup. You might see some Andrew Nelson every once in a while. And another big development is that Struck got his cast off of the hand during this week, so he'll have a brace on the hand. But that's also a possibility now that he might get thrown in there on the offensive end. Was catching passes yesterday in practice, has been working with the offense the last couple of weeks. Now finally got that big club off his hand. You're not going to see the big taped up arm anymore. So just adding another threat to that offensive weaponry is going to be huge for Benedetto.
So how did that feel for him last night? Did you talk to him at all?
Yeah, I did. He came. I walked into the door, and the first thing he said was, he said, "Hey," and then he just held up his hand. There's no cast on that thing at all, just the bare hand, and then he said, it feels weird, as anything would, when you get your arm, when you break something and then you get that big piece of equipment removed off your hand. It obviously seems a little bit fresh and a little bit vulnerable, but obviously he's going to leave it all on the field. A couple games left in his senior year, and what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to break it again and then have to club it up for the remainder of the season. That it's just kind of a mindset now of let's just put this thing behind us and go win some football games. So now we'll take a break, or excuse me, not take a break. We'll get ready for our scoreboard update here. So some games around the state and a heavy Triple-A football set tonight. Some crucial games for seeding into the playoffs. So Dan Johnson, why don't you let us know what some of those games are around the state?
As we talked earlier, tonight's the final night of high school football for Triple-A football. So it's Roosevelt travels up to Aberdeen Central. Brookings, number 3 in AA, travels out to Pierre. That's number 2. I tell you what, that's going to be a big game out there. That's a championship from 2 years ago. Rapid City Central plays at Stevens. The Bucks travel up and play the Arrows of Watertown. Number 1 Harrisburg played number 2 Brandon Valley at Brandon Valley. That'll be the big game after this one. West Central plays number 1 T at T. Mitchell travels up to Heron and the Tigers, and Lincoln and Washington after this game for the doubleheader tonight. So that's the football games we're watching tonight across the state.
And just want to mention a couple of quick things with O'Gorman going on Saturday. I keep thinking today's Friday. Today's only Thursday. So on Saturday, the state cross-country meet will be at Yankton Trails Park. The girls' varsity team will run at 1, and then the boys will run at 2:30. So if you're not doing anything Saturday afternoon, I'm sure you can go over to Yankton Trails and support the defending state champion O'Gorman girls runners, and then also the O'Gorman boys. And one more championship going on Saturday will be in Brandon Valley. It'll be O'Gorman cheerleading and dance, which they've been really good the last couple of years. So that should be fun. I got to see them when they had their one home meet about a month or so ago, and they were really fun to watch all their routines. So cheer and dance. Good luck to them on Saturday in Brandon, and boys and girls cross country Saturday at Yankton Trails Park. And one thing I just almost forgot is tomorrow night at O'Gorman. The 1 vs. 2 O'Gorman volleyball team versus Sioux Falls, Washington. The varsity game will be around 7, and I'll be there streaming that game. I can't wait to see those two teams play against each other.
And Coach Aaron Strand, hats off, has done a fabulous job. And also last Saturday night out here was the state AA soccer.
Yep.
And I was out here for that, and they took on Yankton, and it was supposed to be 7:05 start. We didn't get started until 8 because they had the shootout in the girls' A. And I tell you what, Coach Byer did a fabulous job. They came up short, 1-0, and the Yankton Bucks win the state title, and it was fun. I haven't been to too many soccer games in my life, but that was fun to watch. And so
all right,
hats off to the Knights.
Absolutely. Hats off to all of the athletic teams getting ready to compete this weekend and those that competed their final games in the past last week or two. And coming up next on the Knights kickoff show here on Real Presence Radio Network, Brett Byler had a chance to sit down and talk to Jefferson football coach Vince Benedetto to find out what his Cavaliers need to do tonight to have success in the final regular season game of the AAA season. And that interview is next on Real Presence Radio Network.
Is there an event that you would like announced right here on the RPR network? Please email the details at least 2 weeks in advance to heather@realpresenceradio.com. That's HEATHER at realpresenceradio.com. We can help spread the word about what's happening at your parish and in your diocese. Again, that email address is heather@realpresenceradio.com.
Here at Catholic Family Services, we believe counseling is for everyone. Catholic Family Services is here to help whether you are navigating a life transition, such as going to college or changing career paths, wanting to improve your communication skills, making plans for your future family, or wanting to understand mental health. If you would like more information or to set up an appointment with one of our trained professionals, call Catholic Family Services at 605-988-3775.
Welcome back to the Knights Game Day Show. I'm now joined by Sioux Falls Jefferson football coach Vince Benedetto. Coach, your team is coming off a 42-24 loss at number 1 Harrisburg last Friday night. The ball game was tied 21-21 at halftime. First off, Coach, what did your team do well in the first half on the road versus the number 1 team in state?
Yeah, our kids played really hard last Friday. They were flying around with the football and just kind of playing inspired football, which is something we've done all year. I think we've played with good effort the whole year. We made big plays on offense when we needed to make big plays, and in the first half, our defense did enough to keep us in the game. As the game went on, Harrisburg proved why they're the number 1 team in the state. They made more plays than we did in the second half, and with the young group, hopefully we learn from that and keep getting better.
Coach, what was the biggest struggles for your team in the second half where Harrisburg outscored you 21-3?
We got a lot of guys going both ways, and I think when you're going against a team like Harrisburg that's as big and as physical as they are, they kind of wear you down, especially when our guys are on the field the whole game. And I know O'Gorman's kind of similar in that way where they have quite a few guys playing both sides of the ball. So we just got to find ways to just keep pushing and kind of find that extra gear when it comes to the second half against good teams.
In that ball game, Coach, Harrisburg's running back Gavin Ross had 283 yards. Going into this week's game against O'Gorman, is that something you're trying to work on in practice in regards to improving the run defense?
Yeah, that's been a focus of ours. We really, since our Roosevelt game, we've struggled defending against the run. We've kind of been trying to piece together some things with some injuries we had and find different things to help us stop that. But, I mean, it's pretty simple to win football games. You got to stop the run and you got to run the ball effectively. And the past 3 games, offensively and defensively, we haven't been on the winning side of the run game.
And you coach one of the most dynamic players in state and junior quarterback Talon Ashley. What has it been like coaching him this year, and what do you see as his biggest growth as a quarterback now toward the end of the season than it was at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, he's a really fun kid to coach. He's a good leader. He's a great student. He's just a fun kid to be around. And on top of that, he has pretty phenomenal athletic ability. He makes plays when plays aren't there, but at the same time, if we get the protection we need, if we run the correct routes, like he knows the read and he'll make the correct throw. He's been really fun to coach. I've never coached a player that can bail us out of situations the way Talon's been able to, and I think his basketball background shows on the football field. He just makes some things out of nothing sometimes, and it's been really fun to coach him.
Now, Coach, let's move forward to tonight's ball game, a big one for your team as you play Sioux Falls O'Gorman, a team coming out 3 straight wins. Both of you and O'Gorman are 4-4 as you look to close out the regular season. When watching O'Gorman, what is the first thing that stands out to you about them?
We know O'Gorman's well coached. Coach Popinga and his staff do a really good job. And watching their defense and watching their offense, they're a disciplined football team. They know their rules, they know their assignments, and they're coached well in what they need to do. They fly around at the football, they play hard, and they play inspired football. You know, you watch their past 3 games, they got a little win streak here, and they're playing confident football, and it's going to be a big challenge for us tonight.
And finally, Coach, in order to have success on both the offense and defensive side of the ball against O'Gorman tonight, what must your boys do?
It's pretty simple. We got to be able to run the ball offensively, and we have to stop the run on defense. If we can do that, I think we got a chance tonight. But I think O'Gorman does those things really well on both sides of the ball. So we got to bring our A game and see where it gets us tonight.
Yeah, Thank you so much, Coach, for your time, and good luck tonight against Sioux Falls O'Gorman.
All right, thanks for having me.
We'd like to thank Coach Vince Benedetto, the first-year head coach of Jefferson High School. And coming up next on the night's pregame show here is Brett Byler had a chance to sit down with head coach Jason Popinga and find out what the Knights need to do in their final regular season game tonight to get a victory and hopefully have a chance to secure some home field advantage for the playoffs. And that interview is next on Real Presence Radio Network.
Hello, this is Mark Konzemius, president of the Catholic Community Foundation for Eastern South Dakota. Preparing for the end of life can be overwhelming, even scary. Yet as disciples of Christ, we live in great hope and the reality of God's promise that death is not the end, but a new beginning. The End-of-Life Planning Workbook for Catholics is now available. I encourage you to reach out to one of our Catholic Community Foundation offices or ccfesd.org. May God bless each of us on our journey to heaven.
Early in his time as the new bishop of the Diocese of Sioux Falls, Bishop Donald DeGrood sensed in prayer the vision that the Lord has for the diocese in our time: lifelong Catholic missionary discipleship through God's love. That is, for each and every Catholic in eastern South Dakota to receive God's love, to be in personal relationship with Jesus Christ, and to share that love with others. Find out more at sfcatholic.org/vision and discover the exciting and beautiful part you have to play in God's plan.
Welcome back to the Knights Game Day Show. I'm now joined by O'Gorman football coach Jason Popinga. Coach, your team's coming off their third straight win, 46-0 over Huron on senior night at the MAC last Friday night. This is a game, Coach, where both offense and defensive units both played really well. I want to start with your defensive unit. 51 yards allowed in the game, only 4 first downs, led by a few seniors. David Alpers and Rush Landry had 4 sacks in the game. Manny struck at a pick 6. Talk to me about what impressed you most about your brother's defense against Huron.
Yeah, I mean, they were really aggressive, and like you said, our 2 defensive ends, Alpers and Rush, had really big nights. They got after the quarterback, made big stops, as far as in the run game, and they're going to have a big challenge this week, as far as with Taylor Ashley in the back, at quarterback, who explosive runner, gets out of the pocket. If those guys can contain him inside of the pocket, not let him get out, I mean, that's going to be a huge win for us. And, in the back end, Manny's doing a great job as far as being aggressive. He had a great read coming from his safety position, coming down to make a pick, out in the flats, and, really trusting the fact that, the things that my brother's telling him are true, that if your read is here and you get to go here and good things are going to happen. And, our linebacking core once again did another nice job, with Anders Matichek gets the pick on the screen off the tip ball that Dominic Schulten, I think, is the one who tipped it up front. Then you got Carter, and Ratzloff, and those two guys, being aggressive in the run game. All those things are going to have to come, and be really good this week against, a really talented Jefferson team. We're not really sure how good up front they are in the run game for them, but Talon just gets out in space and, he's dangerous. So Manny's going to have a big night on the back end. He's going to kind of be shadowing around where Wildy's at. And if we keep Ashley contained in the pocket, I mean, we feel good about what our defense is going to be able to accomplish.
In order to keep a quarterback like Ashley contained, is it something where you have a different game plan defensively, maybe have a spy on him, or how hard is it to keep someone like him contained in the pocket? Sometimes a quarterback like that's almost most dangerous when a play will break down.
Yeah, it is, and you can't really just spy him because, a spy isn't going to be able to catch him, so, putting somebody 5 yards away and say, well, watch him, well, that's not going to do any good. I mean, it's a matter of multiple guys taking good angles, and like I said, with Rush and Alpers, they can't get too far upfield where Talon's able to get underneath and get out in open space. They got to play 2 gaps, in this one. They may not be quite as aggressive, getting after him because of how sneaky he is, but, we want to make sure that we get multiple guys there at angles for him, and that'll bottle him up. So it's going to be a team effort in the run game. Our linebackers are going to play a little bit slower in the drop into some of the quick pass games as a result, where they're going to have to be, cognizant of is like, well, is this a run fake? Is this a pass fake? Where are we at? And if those guys get good at that in this game and read it correctly, I mean, we feel good that we're going to be able to contain him at least. I think he's still going to get big plays. He's still going to have that 50-yard scramble down the sideline or something like that, and they're going to chuck it up to Wildy, who's going to make some catches. But, I don't think that's going to be enough to sustain them for, drive after drive after drive if our defense plays well.
Coach, on our offensive end of the game, on the running game, they've had a really rough time. Jefferson, the Harrisburg running back, ran for just about 300 yards against them. Roosevelt had a really good success running the ball against them. For our offense tonight, how important will it be to establish the run, be able to move the ball consistently on the ground?
Well, if you look at our wins the last 3 weeks, we've had over 100 yards rushing in all of those games, and when Maverick Jones has a big night, against like the Stevens night, we played really, really well. So, I mean, we are putting a lot of emphasis on our up front guys, and I think we're getting a lot better up there. I think, Ratzloff and Carlson's done a great job. Mistakes he was making earlier in the year, he's not making those same mistakes anymore. We got Aiden Scott back, who was kind of limited last week because he was sick and gone. Chase Harris is kind of back now, full strength. So him and, Peterson both playing at that other guard, and then Benson's, been kind of the guy at left tackle all year. And those guys are doing a great job. And now we add, Alpers to the mix, and now you bring in Anders a little bit at kind of our blocking flex. And Satter's done a great job job, coming on. He's feeling more confident, not playing like a sophomore anymore. So all of those guys together, if we can sustain that line of scrimmage and keep pounding yards and getting first downs, and I think we can sustain what I don't think what Jefferson will be able to do, sustain drives and keep their offense off the field and keep scoring points.
And finally, Coach, in your passing game last week against Huron, you had 6 different receivers catch the ball from Bennett, who was, again, very efficient, 17 out of 26. Talk about just the importance of him spreading the ball out, just moving forward in games where a defense can't say, we can focus on just, say, Hagee or Struck when he comes back, where you have multiple options for him to distribute the ball to.
Yeah, and he's doing a lot of it's that Bennett's doing a good job of making the easy read. Almost all of our game and our RPO game and decisions he's making, he's got to find that one key guy, and whatever that defensive player does, the ball goes here. So it's not that we're ever targeting one player. There's very few times we do that. There are times we are, and we're going to try to take advantage. We think that a couple of their corners, maybe are a little suspect, that maybe we can get some plays out there to Hagee, and if Manny gets to play, we'll see how his hand goes and how he feels in the game. But whether that's Preston or that's Rush or whether that's going to be Hagee, those guys we all feel confidence in. And the other one, Alpers needs to catch those 4 or 5 balls that are going to turn into first downs. He's a good possession receiver, and all those guys are going to have to do it. We're going to have to be balanced on offense, and that's what we've always prided ourselves on is being able to throw, run, pass, and play that RPO game. And if we do that well, we feel like we're going to be able to move the ball.
Thanks so much, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, Brett. Appreciate it.
We'd like to thank Coach Popinga for his time as always as we get ready to head into the break. And coming up next after the break will be our Keys to Victory segment here at Howard Wood Field in the last regular season game between the O'Gorman Knights and the Jefferson Cavaliers. And that segment is next on the Knights Game Day Show here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Need repairs on gas pumps, tanks, and air compressors? Sioux Equipment Company can help. They serve Sioux Falls and the surrounding areas. Sioux Equipment Company also offers services for lifts, signs, decals, and tank truck equipment. Sioux Equipment Company at 605-334-1653 is a supporter of O'Gorman Knights athletics and activities.
Upon graduation from O'Gorman High School, you will receive far more than a diploma. You get the values of a Catholic education, the support and reach of thousands of alum from across the country, the knowledge that you can become who you were meant to be, and our community will be right there by your side. You belong in blue. O'Gorman High School.
Keys of Victory first.
Welcome back to Real Presence Radio Network as we get ready to do our Keys to Victory segment as the O'Gorman Knights are getting ready to take the field here at Howard Wood. About 10 minutes till kickoff time. So the first key to victory, we got to run the ball effectively. O'Gorman averaged 150 rushing yards in the last 3 weeks. Maverick Jones with 368 yards on the ground in the previous 4 weeks. And then Gavin Ross had that 283-yard game versus Jefferson last week, which was a school record at Harrisburg. And also, that's a lot of yards to give up in one game, especially just to one guy. So secondly, we got to have success on third down like the previous 2 weeks. O'Gorman's 13 of 22 on third downs at a 59%. So having success on third downs will be huge again tonight. Also, got to limit the big plays from Jefferson. Taylor Ashley and Griffin Wilde are both very capable of making plays, big plays on the ground and through the air. And O'Gorman needs to tackle well in space tonight. Control time of possession. O'Gorman needs to make sure that we control the time of possession, wear out Jefferson, who have got multiple guys playing both ways. And finally, our special teams coverage units need to play well. Griffin Wilde returned a kickoff for a touchdown last week, and we just can't allow any of those big explosive plays on the kickoff or punt returns, especially in a game like this.
Okay, pick the click time. Isaac, you're first.
All right, I think I'm going to go with Bennett Danenbring tonight. I haven't really picked the quarterback much this season, but I think that he's going to be playing as big of a factor as anybody tonight because you've got to control the offense against a team like Jefferson. The offense is going to run through Bennett tonight. I think that we're going to be run heavy on the ground. Oh my goodness. Going to be run heavy on the ground, but also we'll be able to mix him in there on the design quarterback runs as well. And then his attempts through the air tonight are going to be huge, especially just against a secondary like Jefferson where you might be able to get a couple of home run balls deep on.
So kind of like a Tom Brady.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. I'm going to go it the other way. I'm going to go with number 4, David Alpers. I tell you what, he's had some fabulous football this year, last year, great athlete, senior, and he knows a lot of these kids.
Absolutely.
And that's where I just think he's fired up, and especially on defense, containing that end, and also on offense, being the tall as he is, coming across, he can catch some balls and everything. So that's my pick to click is number 4, David Alpers.
Some players to watch out tonight for Jefferson. Talon Ashley, the quarterback, number 7, a very dynamic player, both throwing the ball and rushing the football. He threw for 5 touchdowns last year against O'Gorman, with 1 rushing touchdown when he played for Roosevelt back in the Dakota Bowl blowout of last year. And Griffin Wilde, that number 2 big play threat down. He's number 2. He's the big play threat down the field. He had 2 touchdowns versus O'Gorman last year when he played for Roosevelt as well. So some Roosevelt blood in this game against O'Gorman for Jefferson. 2 guys that lit up O'Gorman last year, getting a chance to hopefully do it again for Jefferson's sake, but O'Gorman trying to put a stop to that this year. So stay tuned for more on Real Presence Radio Network as we're going to head into a quick break, come back with a priest prayer, starting lineups for both teams, and a final introduction to this ball game here on the last regular season game of the season from Howard Wood Field here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Hi, this is Brett Byler, Area Account Executive with Real Presence Radio. Did you know the signal of Real Presence Radio reaches an audience of over 2.4 million people across North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, Wisconsin, and Wyoming? Have you ever thought about running radio spots on the RPR network? We want to partner with you to help gain exposure for your business in front of a very faithful customer base. To find out more about the options, please call me, Brett Byler, at 605-670-8333.
I'm Bishop Donald DeGrood. I'd like to invite you to the Through God's Love Conference on Saturday, October 30th at the Sioux Falls Convention Center. Over the last few months, we've been spreading the word about the diocesan vision, lifelong Catholic missionary discipleship through God's love. Now I'd like to invite you to participate in this conference, where we will help you respond to God's call and in turn help others know and love Him themselves. Visit sfcatholic.org and join me in the renewal the Holy Spirit is working in our diocese.
On the Real Presence Radio Network, O'Gorman Knights Football is on the air. Brought to you by
Catholic Family Services, Catholic Community Foundation of Eastern South Dakota, Jardine Construction, Barnett Vision Clinic, Bishop O'Gorman Catholic Schools, McGuire Iron, Sioux Equipment Company, Ferendorf Family Chiropractic and Wellness, Closets and More, and JMJ Caseworks. The BB Agency, Knights of Columbus Insurance, Crossroads Book and Music, Pizza Ranch, and Fun Zone Arcade on 41st Street.
Kickoff to tonight's game is just moments away. With all the exciting action of O'Gorman Knights football, let's go to the field.
Welcome back to Howard Wood Field here in the final AAA regular season game this season between the O'Gorman Knights and the Jefferson Cavaliers. But before we get started, we'll take it away with our priest prayer for this evening. So, Father, it's all you.
This is Father Sean Hagerty, pastor of St. Lambert Parish in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Let us pray in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. In the book of Deuteronomy, we hear, "Be brave and steadfast. Have no fear or dread of them, for it is the Lord your God who marches with you. He will never fail you or forsake you." God our Father, we know that you are always with us in every competition of life, whether it be on the field or on the court or in the family or at school. You are with us, Lord. Help our young people to realize this and to always turn to you in their time of need. We pray especially for safety for our young people as they compete. We pray for our parents, that they would support all children. And we pray for our refs, that God would give them the grace to make good calls and to have an eye to see all that happens. We ask all this through our Lord Jesus Christ, your Son, who lives and reigns with you in the unity of the Holy Spirit, one God, forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Lady, Queen of Victory, pray for us.
That was who was that?
I knew he was going to say it. I wanted to get to it first.
Where is
that? Was Father Sean Haggerty of St. Lambert's Parish.
Yeah, baby.
Located in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, the one and only Dan Johnson's parish.
That's right.
We've got the coin toss happening down on the field right now. O'Gorman sends out 4 seniors in Preston Konechny, Peter Benson, David Alpers, and Manny Struck. Jefferson sends out Ashley, Kolb, Wilde. So Jefferson has won the toss. They elect to receive. They'll be receiving it from the south end zone, if you can call it that. And then closest to the Premier Center, they'll be heading from our right to our left. Now some starting lineups for the O'Gorman Knights defensively. We'll get to the Jefferson offense when they get ready to take the field. O'Gorman defensively, Dominic Skolton at nose tackle, Rush Landry, David Alpers, the 2 ends, Carter Peterson, Anders Matichek, Sam Jacobson, and Gabe Cheddar are the linebackers. And then the 2 safeties tonight, Manny Struck and Jack White, and the 2 cornerbacks, Andrew Nelson and Logan Height. Doing the kicking for the O'Gorman Knights will be Peyton Hagee, the junior, and Jefferson has 2 return men in Griffin Wilde, and then a couple of others sprinkled in back there, but Wilde the only one back deep.
So Jefferson won the toss, and they decided to go into the sun right away.
So Jefferson will receive that opening kickoff.
Wind's kind of gone down here.
Jefferson, the home team tonight, wearing the green jerseys with the gold pants and gold helmet. O'Gorman in their white jerseys with the blue pants and the white helmet. As Peyton Hagee has teed up the football and is ready to send this one away. And deep kick end over end that will go through the end zone for a touchback. And that'll send out the Jefferson Cavaliers, highlighted by their star quarterback, Talon Ashley. A couple other starters for the Jefferson Cavaliers. Truitt, Taggy, Sawyer, Huntmeyer, Deshaun, Rolick, Ethan Colts, and David Garbo are their linemen. London Kolb, Cohen Henry, Emmanuel Schaus, and Griffin Wilde, the receivers, as well as Bo Giblin. So Ashley will come out of the gun. He's got no one around him. He's going to drop back to pass, roll out now to the right, throwing off balance, and it's going to be incomplete, too high, and out of the outstretched arms of, I believe that was number 6, Cohen Henry. It was.
Good coverage by the Knights there. His intended receiver was covered very, very well. So
second down and 10 for Jefferson here. Ball on their own 20-yard line after the touchback from Hagee. Jefferson comes out, 2 receivers to each side and a running back offset to the right. Ashley takes the snap, gives up the middle on the carry for a couple of yards, but not too many, was number 35, Emmanuel Dorbar. Going to give him about 4 yards, maybe 5.
3rd and 5.
So it'll be 3rd down and 5. 2 plays, 5 yards, and the Jefferson Cavaliers facing their first 3rd down of the afternoon. A pretty nice day considering the weather we've had so far this week here at Howard Wood Field in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Jefferson's almost 42% 3rd down conversions here.
52 degrees and sunny.
Not a cloud in the sky hardly.
Jefferson will send a receiver in motion. That's Kolb. A quick pass to the outside. Nearly batted away, but incomplete off the hands of Cohen Henry. And that'll result in a 4th down, and the punting unit will come out for the Cavaliers.
That Jack White there?
It was Jack White that was the closest to getting that ball knocked out of the air. And now Jefferson will have to punt. End over end kick is going to be fair caught. That was Rylan Satter. Nope, that was number 14, Maverick Jones on the fair catch. And the Knights offense will take over for the first time this ball game, highlighted by the center Aiden Scott, right guard Zach Carlson, left guard Chase Harris, Peter Benson, and Nate Ratzloff, the 2 tackles. Then the receiving core with David Alpers, Rylan Satter, Peyton Heggie, and Rush Landry, and then the running back Maverick Jones and the quarterback Bennett Dannenbring.
Great field position, starting on their 48 here.
1st and 10. Knights come out with 2 receivers to the left and a heavy set to the right as Jones off the carry breaks away from one man down the sideline, inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line, and a huge gain on 1st down for the O'Gorman Knights. Sets up their offense very nicely.
32, 33-yard run.
The last time we were here, we had great field position thanks to the opening kickoff return and did nothing with it. This time a 30-some-yard rush. They're going to give it 36 yards on the carry for Maverick Jones. 1st down and 10. Snap, give. Jones off tackle again. Got some room to run. A dip in, dip out near the 1st down marker. He's down to the 6-yard line. That might be enough for a 1st down.
See that stiff arm? Oh, sweet. Maverick
doing some good work early, and it's already 1st and goal for the Knights. Ball at the 6-yard line. 2 consecutive runs, and the Knights are set up with their first opportunity to put points on the board. Dannenbring takes the snap, gives it to Jones. Up off the middle, bulldozes his way into the end zone. In 3 plays, the Knights are into the end zone.
In less than 2 minutes into the ballgame.
What a fast drive. 3 straight run plays, 3 straight big rushes, and it's 6-0 pending the extra point. The Knights drove that football right down the field. That was impressive. Talked about that. Talked about that in the pregame show. They had the 2 receivers out to the left, and then they just punched it right down the throats of Jefferson down the right side. Snap, hold. Andrew Nelson on to kick the extra point. It's up and good. So Nelson back doing the kicking for the Knights. And it's 7-0 O'Gorman. So with 10 minutes and 2 seconds left in the first quarter, the Knights have a 7-0 lead over the Jefferson Cavaliers. Stay tuned for more action here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Your family is depending on you to provide financial security for them. The Knights of Columbus can help you with insurance solutions such as disability income, long-term care, both term and whole life, annuities, retirement, and estate planning services. Join the Knights of Columbus today at kfc.org/join us for access to all these insurance services. Call the BB Agency at 605-882-8689. That's 605-882-8689.
Hi, this is Mark Holcraft.
And this is Dr. Joseph Holcraft. You know, Mark, Jesus asks 307 questions in sacred scripture. He is asked 183, of which he only answers 3. What's the business with all of this questioning going on in the Bible?
Well, Joe, there's a lot there, and we'll be ready to take that on. Tune in to hear about these questions and more on Awaken every 2nd and 4th Wednesday at 7 a.m. Central here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Welcome back to Howard Wood Field here on Real Presence Radio Network. O'Gorman Knights football. The Knights on the board early, 7-0 over the Jefferson Cavaliers thanks to the 3-play, 52-yard touchdown drive from O'Gorman. All of those yards coming up from Maverick Jones.
And on the run back, Knights kind of had him. Oh, we got a player down right on the 50. They had him stop back there at the 25, and he got around and took the ball up to the 41-yard line. So
we'll take that scoring drive for O'Gorman has been brought to you by Closets and More, a locally owned company providing custom designed closets and storage solutions. Closets and More can be reached at 605-334-5135 or online at closetsandmoresd.com. So we'll take a quick injury timeout here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Real Presence Radio is available on Alexa-enabled devices, including Amazon Echo, phones, tablets, and smart displays. To enable the skill, just say, Alexa, enable Real Presence Radio. To listen, say something like, Alexa, open Real Presence Radio. It will then ask what station you want to play, to which you can respond, play Sioux Falls, or play AM 970, or play WWEN. From there, you can use commands like play, pause, and stop. Listen to RPR anytime, anywhere on Alexa-enabled devices.
Welcome back to Howard Wood Field here as that first down play goes for about 4 yards, and that'll bring up second down. It was Sam Jacobson down on the ground for the Knights as he walked off the field under his own power.
Rough Riders pick up 4 yards on that run play.
So it'll be second down and 6 as Jefferson, taking a little while in the huddle here, will send out 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, and the running back in the backfield. I believe that's Dorbar. It is. Snap overthrown to the side, caught over the middle, and that'll be enough for a first down. The reception was made by London Kolb. Jefferson Cavalier running off the field there, number 76. Carson Krugel. Jefferson comes out, 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Dorbar offset to the right. They'll send Kolb in motion from left to right. Ashley's going to have to keep off the edge. Avoids struck at first, but Struck got a hand on him enough to bring him down for the tackle. And that'll bring up second down and 8.
Nice move. Nice fake there. That was...
Second down and 8. It's kind of weird seeing up here Struck without that big club on his hand. So an empty set here as they'll send Kolb in motion from behind Ashley. His pass incomplete out of the outstretched arms of Griffin. Wilde, that one thrown well behind Wilde, and that'll bring up third down and 8 on the incompletion.
Nelson was right there to get him if he would have caught it.
So it'll be third down and 8. Jefferson with the football at the 47-yard line, their second drive so far.
And Ashley only being a junior, he's pretty salty.
4 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Jefferson sends a receiver in motion. That's Kolb. Ashley drops back the pass. It's going to be a tunnel screen, and running into trouble as Dominic Skolton gets to the receiver. That was number 5, Bo Giblin, on the reception. It'll go for a loss of 1, and that'll bring up fourth down and 9, and Jefferson's going to send out the punting unit again.
2 possessions, 2 punts. They'll be punting from the O'Gorman 49. That's where the ball's at. Get in there.
Snap is a little bit high, finally corralled by Erickson, and now there's going to be a flag on Alpers.
No way.
They might call it running into the kicker if it's...
He got blocked into him. I'd like to see the replay on that.
Let's see what they call here. Might be a 5-yard penalty. Ref still signaling what they want. Yep, it looks like Benedetto. Yep, they're going to decline it. It's only a 5-yard penalty, so they'll just... So Alpers flagged for running into the kicker, which is not roughing, so it does not result in the 15-yard penalty and the automatic first down. It was just running into the leg of Erickson on that punt, and instead the Knights will take over at their own 22-yard line instead of a re-kick that could have resulted in a worse kick.
Well, that was pretty high snap there, and it kind of threw him off, and he had to back up. And
yep, took him a little bit longer to get back to it. So Gorman comes out. They'll give it to Maverick Jones again. Jones off the right tackle. This one for a gain of about 4 yards. His shortest rush of the afternoon so far. He's got 4 carries for 57 yards. All 4 plays for O'Gorman offensively have been runs. Probably going to sprinkle in a pass here in the next 2 plays.
On that right side, you got Ratzloff and Carlson.
So out comes O'Gorman now. One receiver to the right, one to the left. A tight end and fullback offset to the left side, and Jones to the right of Dannenbring. Dannenbring drops back to pass. He's got Hagee wide open as he catches it, and it makes a defender almost made him miss, then got brought down at the 38-yard line, but not before another O'Gormanites first down.
I like how Hagee kind of stopped, hesitate a little bit, make that defensive player make that move and try to.
Jefferson playing really soft coverage out there. I mean, that was about a 10-yard gap between the corner and the receiver, and they just let him catch the nice, easy out route. I would expect O'Gorman to out route him to death for a while and then hit him with an out and up. Jones off the tackle run again, this time for about 3 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 7 across the 40-yard line.
And, Whiting being defensive coordinator for Jefferson, I thought he'd be playing a little bit tighter.
Yep.
And we all know Mr. Whiting.
Yeah, good old Ed. He was my world history teacher. Dannenbring drops back to pass. He's got a receiver open. It's Hagee on the money throw. Caught across the 50, shy of the 40-yard line. Tackled at the 41. And that's another first down for O'Gorman.
Looks like they were bringing the house there, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
look, everybody, there was 8 defensive players there, and they were all coming. And I tell you what, the line did a fabulous job, and Hagee's wide open out there, and he right in with the sun with the shadow mark right there. And I tell you, good play, good ball.
Gorman comes out, one receiver to each side again. That tight end and fullback offset to the left, and Maverick Jones on the right side out of the running back position. Dropping back to passes Dannenbring. He's got pressure. He's going to flood out and chuck one on the run. Caught by Hagee into the end zone. Touchdown O'Gorman.
Yeah, baby.
Dannenbring on the run completes it to Peyton Hagee for 6.
And Dannenbring was in trouble. He was rushed out of the pocket, went to the left, and nice ball. Great ball.
What a catch by Peyton Hagee out on the seams.
He just kind of lobbed it, didn't he? It kind of looked like a lob, but it was a nice, beautiful ball. Beautiful ball.
So 13-0, and Andrew Nelson on to kick the extra point for O'Gorman. Made the first one. That one up and good. So 14-0. O'Gorman has an early lead in the first quarter with 5:11 to go here at Howardwood High School, or Howardwood Field. Jefferson High School, the home team. As we get ready to take a break on Real Presence Radio Network.
Ferendorf Family Chiropractic and Wellness is a third-generation family-owned chiropractic practice whom have been proudly serving the people of Sioux Falls and the Sioux Empire region since 1947. Dr. Eric Ferendorf, a 1999 O'Gorman alum, practices alongside his wife, Dr. Larissa Ferendorf. Dr. Larissa specializes in applied kinesiology and clinical nutrition. Ferendorf Family Chiropractic and Wellness is located on the northwest corner of 49th Street and Southeastern Avenue, 605-334-8000, or online at ferendorfchiropractic.com.
At McGuire Iron, we protect and store quality water for people and communities across the country. We are family owned and operated and have been building and maintaining America's water tower infrastructure for over 100 years. We pride ourselves on using faith principles in our business practices every day. This deep faith in the church is why we support the Bishop O'Gorman Catholic School System. From all of us at McGuire Iron and the Jones family, we wish all O'Gorman students and student athletes good luck this year.
Welcome back to Howardwood Field, not Howardwood High School, as that kick is pooched up just near the 20-yard line, and Maverick Jones is going to make a tackle out of bounds after the stiff arm from Cohen Hendry. But O'Gorman making all the noise so far on the Jefferson home game right now.
Yeah, that scoring drive for the Sioux Falls O'Gorman Knights was brought to you by Closets and More, a locally owned company providing custom-designed closets and storage solution. Closets and More can be reached at calling 605-334-5135, online at closetsandmoresd.com. You know, Brad, you're probably going to have to get some closets, getting married. You're going to have to redo something here, a few things, buddy. She's going to bring a lot of luggage.
So Jefferson will come out from under center in the I formation, throw a quick pass on the outside. It's going to be caught, and then a tackle made by Sam Jacobson. Pass was complete.
Short of the first down.
That was number 20, Emmanuel Schmass. So that last scoring drive for the O'Gorman Knights has been brought to you by Closets and More.
And we thank them for sponsoring all the touchdowns, which
Yeah.
have been fabulous.
That last play was that last touchdown for O'Gorman was a 42-yard completion from Bennett Dannenbrink to Peyton Hagee. The run up the middle this time to Dorbar, just stuffed at the line.
By 3 of them. Who was that?
Skolton and Jacobson and Peterson looked to be the guilty party in there for the O'Gorman Knights.
Wow.
Now the Knights are going to bring in a couple of more DBs. They think they might try to spread the field a little bit here and maybe beat them on the perimeter.
3rd and short.
You know, this O'Gorman Knights team is playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Oh. That's what you need going in the last regular season game with playoffs next Thursday.
Snap, give, run. This time it's Taylon Ashley keeping it on the side. Ball was out. They're going to mark Ashley down and give him the first down. He lunged for that first down and just got it.
Not by very much like that. He lunged and he got it.
Number 18, John White.
Three more games left after this, gentlemen, right?
Wouldn't that be ideal?
I said that 2 years ago when it happened.
3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. An empty set here for Taylon Ashley and the Jefferson Cavaliers. Ball at their own 41-yard line. They'll send Kolb in motion, throw a screen back to him. Running down the right sideline with some room to run. Caught by Alpers, but not before a first down for Jefferson there. On the 17-yard completion to London Kolb. More of a run there as that ball was thrown behind the line of scrimmage.
13, 14-yard pickup. So after the first 2 possessions by punting here, Jefferson's got to make some changes, and that's their. I think they have to go in their playbook.
Jefferson will come out under the center this time in I formation. 2 receivers to the left. Snap, drop back, straight give up the middle, the door bar before he's met by a couple of Knights. And David Alpers flexing the guns. Man, this Knights team is fired up right now, and I love it. You just love to see a team playing with not so much of just arrogant cockiness, but more of just a swagger about them right now that they're just trying to come out here and take over the mental side of this game against a team like Jefferson. You know, O'Gorman riding the 3-game win streak, and they're the ones proving it right now.
They have to play a good mental game here, though. Heads up football here.
Jefferson comes out in that empty set again. This time they'll just drop back, throw a quick screen to the outside to Wilde before Wilde is wrapped up after a gain of about 7, and it'll be 3rd and 2. So Wilde on the reception. He's been quiet so far this first quarter. As it's 14-0 O'Gorman right now with 2:05 left in the first quarter.
Both teams, a lot of substitutions on both sides of the ball.
Three receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And running back straight behind Ashley. Ashley takes the snap, quick pass over, caught by Emmanuel Schmoss. That'll be a first down for Jefferson, gain of about 6. So Jefferson now driving the football a little bit down the field. They're at the 30-yard line with 1 minute and 20 seconds left here in the first quarter. First down and 10. Ashley will come out with 2 receivers to each side and a running back's offset to his right. Send a receiver in motion, fake the give up the middle. He'll keep around the edge. He's got a lot of room to run before he's tackled finally by Struck inside the 10-yard line. Struck came flying from the backside and made a tackle. Initially, it looked like he might have been gone down the sideline.
Boy, that was wide open. He took off.
That's enough room to change for Cavaliers. First and goal.
First and goal at the 8 now for the Cavaliers.
It was a 22-yard quarterback keeper there for Taylon Ashley. Ashley will come out of the gun, 3 receivers to the left. They'll send a man in motion to the right side. They'll give up the middle and running through a couple of tackles and into the end zone. That's number 27, Tayton Sano. The 6', 200-pound junior finds his way into the end zone, and that's the first score of the ball game for the Jefferson Cavaliers. Jefferson's been able to put up points with the best of them so far, so not a surprise that their offense finally gets going after a couple of nice plays, including that long run by Ashley to set him up first and goal. And a beautiful run by Tayton Sano brings Jefferson within a score. Anthony Erickson on to attempt the extra point. That kick is blocked by a couple of Knights that flew in there. It was blocked at the line.
Nelson.
So the extra point has been blocked, and with 25 seconds left here in the first quarter, the Knights lead the Cavaliers 14-6. Stay tuned for more O'Gorman Knights football on Real Presence Radio Network.
Hi, this is Brett Byler, Area Account Executive with Real Presence Radio. Did you know the signal of Real Presence Radio reaches an audience of over 2.4 million people across North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, Wisconsin, and Wyoming? Have you ever thought about running radio spots on the RPR network? We want to partner with you to help gain exposure for your business in front of a very faithful customer base. To find out more about the options, please call me, Brett Byler, at 605-670-8333.
Here at Catholic Family Services, we believe counseling is for everyone. Catholic Family Services is here to help whether you are navigating a life transition, such as going to college or changing career paths, wanting to improve your communication skills, making plans for your future family, or wanting to understand mental health. If you would like more information or to set up an appointment with one of our trained professionals, call Catholic Family Services at 605-988-3775.
Welcome back to Howard Wood Field here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, as the O'Gorman Knights lead the Jefferson Cavaliers 14-6 with 25 seconds left here in the first quarter. That kick will be fielded by Jones, who's got a convoy of blockers, and then one man slips through and is going to end up bringing down Maverick Jones, and that was Tayton Sano, the touchdown rusher for the Cavaliers, making a nice special teams kick coverage tackle.
And like we talked about in the break, Jefferson has a lot of players going both ways. So physically here, we get to the second half, how is that going to hold up? Last week we tied 21-all, and the second half was when Jefferson let it get away from him. So
yep,
it's going to be athleticism in the second half here.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and a full house set with a tight end and fullback in on the right side. They'll snap, they'll give. There's some motion up front. It looks like it's going to be a false start. Once again, another run to the right was set up there with a lot of room. It looks like O'Gorman has found a little bit of a weakness in the Jefferson Cavaliers on their left side of their defense. Really been targeting that Jefferson defense right now. O'Gorman will come out, same formation as the last play. Dannenbring will get ready to take the snap. He'll give it off to Maverick Jones, who will carry for about 3 yards, maybe 4, and that'll bring up second down.
There it was, same play again.
Jones with 6 carries for 61 yards and a touchdown right now for the O'Gorman Knights. So that'll do it for the first quarter. Knights lead 14-6 over the Jefferson Cavaliers. Stay tuned for more O'Gorman Knights football here at Howard Wood Field on Real Presence Radio Network.
Did you know you can listen to the RPR network when you're on the go? Just search for Real Presence Radio in your app store. Listen live to any station across the network at any time, so you can stay connected to your local community from wherever you are. Plus, if you miss a program, the Real Presence Radio app is your one-stop shop for local and national podcasts, including our signature show, Real Presence Live. The Real Presence Radio app, with you every step of your faith journey. Download it today and see what you've been missing.
Hi, I'm Teresa Curley, Listener Relationship Coordinator for Eastern South Dakota, and I would like to personally invite you to the 4th Annual Real Presence Radio Sioux Falls Banquet on Tuesday, November 2nd at the Best Western Plus Ramkota Hotel. Social hour starts at 5:30 p.m., followed by a meal at 6:30, and Dr. Stacy Trasancos will be the keynote speaker. To register for the banquet, go to realpresenceradio.com/banquet or call or text me at 803-427-3961.
Welcome back to Howard Wood Field here. As the O'Gorman Heights lead 14-6 with the football now as we get ready to start the second quarter. An interesting stat for all of you stat nerds out there. Jefferson has dominated the time of possession in this ball game, just shy of 9 minutes to O'Gorman's 3 minutes of offense. However, O'Gorman with 134 yards offensively to Jefferson's 86. Dannenbring's got a receiver wide open, just floats one up to Konechny, and he dropped it.
Oh, baby. No. He was wide open all the way to the farm, and third and long. Does he have a purple jersey on? That's what happened. I feel bad for him. Third and long here now. Started the second quarter.
So Dannenbring will have to come out of the gun. Takes the snap, drops back to pass. He's got Konechny again, this time over on the sideline. That time he makes an incredible grab for a first down. So talk about redeeming yourself. That time he makes an incredible grab, dropped the touchdown, but an even better grab on the first down conversion.
And I like that, how they came right back to him, build up his confidence back, and that's the way to do it. Right back at him. I like that. Good call. First and 10 at the Knights' 36.
Jones will carry up the middle, and he'll get about 6 yards on first down.
And you're picking on that left side of the defense.
Second down and 4. That was one of those on that Konechny drop that ball just seemed to float up there for so long that you're almost kind of in an awkward stride, and you're just waiting for it to come down.
And you're probably,
a little bit jittery. It's almost like that ball needed to have a little more zip to it almost, as Dannenbring will keep around the right side. He'll catch a block from Konechny, and he'll get upended across the 40-yard line, but not before a huge gain on second down and a first down.
Great fake. Everybody bid on that. That was
fantastic run there from Dannenbring.
Cavalier territory here on the 37-yard line of the Cavaliers. Knights driving. 10-16 here in the second quarter.
Dannenbring drops back to pass. It's over to Hagee, avoids a tackle, and then finds his way about 3 yards shy of the first down. Put the stop on the heel there. You can see the turf mark from where he tried to stop and turn his momentum. And put the foot down and really dug into the turf there. It gave him a gain of 6 yards that time. Dannenbring drops back. He'll hand off to Maverick Jones, who will end up picking up a yard on what seemed like there was nothing doing. Mustered forward for a yard, and that'll bring up third down and 2. They're going to give Jones 2 yards on that carry.
Okay, third and short here. What's the call?
I think you're going to see Dannenbring on the legs here on a designed keep. Well, it'll be a fake, but you might see him get out and keep it here. Or a quick pass over to Konechny, who bobbles it into his hands, but for a first down on the nice reception at the 22-yard line. Just shy of the red zone here. O'Gorman continuing to drive offensively. You got to put this ball into the end zone again to keep that confidence up.
So Giblin and Asher are having a little discussion down there. They're trying to figure out their coverage here.
Not very often in high school football do you see the quarterback playing both sides of the field.
Correct. especially in
AAA.
Yes.
In AAA, I can't remember the last time that there's been a high caliber quarterback playing both ways. Dannenbrink drops back to pass. He's got a receiver over the middle. It's a wide open Pete Nagy, and they drop it again.
Wow.
A dropped touchdown, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 10. That's twice that the Knights have dropped open touchdowns.
That ball was just beautifully thrown.
I got the answer for you, Isaac. Luke Fritsch.
Yeah, Luke Fritsch was. I was going to say that's the last one I remember. Was Luke Fritsch. Because I mean, if you just think about the big time quarterbacks in AAA football the last few years, Johansson never played defense. Dannenbrink never played defense. I guess you could say the year that Carter Lohr was splitting offensive quarterback reps with Brady, gosh, couldn't. With Brady Dannenbrink that year that Roosevelt went to the Dome and got beat by Washington, he played safety and quarterback, but I mean, that's the most recent besides Ashley right now that I can think of. I mean, maybe a Rapid City team, but
Heiberger comes out number 9. He's maybe limping a little bit on his leg for Jefferson.
Dannenbrink drops back to pass. Now he'll keep. There's nothing doing on the right side. So O'Gorman drops a touchdown in the end zone and then gains about 3 yards on the next play, and then 3rd down drops for a sack. And now it's 4th and 11. Ball is at the 23-yard line.
And the Harrisburg quarterback, the year they played you guys in the Dakota Bowl, did both ways too.
True. Headley.
Stocky guy.
Mm-hmm. So 4th down and 11 now.
And we're going for it.
Dannenbrink takes the snap. He'll drop back to pass. He's got a receiver open. It's Konechny. What a grab for a 1st down. A tremendous catch by Preston Konechny, who has been the go-to man so far this drive for O'Gorman.
And Ashley just standing there looking at him going, you caught that?
And it's interesting that O'Gorman's coming out in this heavy set because they're really isolating the corners. They're just saying, hey, you're not going to beat our man one-on-one out here. They're not allowing him to play any sort of coverage other than just a straight-up man because everyone's packed in and they've got the other 9 guys in the tackle box. Jones on the edge. There's nobody near him, and Maverick Jones will walk into the end zone. 20-6. The Knights are making a statement here on the road.
6:35 here in the second quarter.
Jones scampers his way into the end zone untouched, and the closest person next to him was at least 6 yards away from the point when he crossed that goal line. Tremendous blocking out on the perimeter.
Here's Nelson for the extra point.
Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is up, and that is good.
And I like how that, was it Carlson was out there running block, and he just let up. He put his hands up. He didn't want to get a block in the back end. He just put his hands up, and they knew.
So with 6:35 left here in the second quarter, the Knights lead 21-6. And stay tuned for more on Real Presence Radio Network.
Real Presence Radio is available on Google Assistant devices, including Google Home, phones, tablets, and smart displays. To start this action, say something like, "Okay, Google, talk to Real Presence Radio." It will then ask what station you want to play, to which you can respond, "Play Sioux Falls," or "Play AM 970," or "Play WWEN." From there, you can use words like play, pause, and stop. Listen to RPR anytime, anywhere on Google Assistant devices.
And that last scoring drive for the O'Gorman Knights has been brought to you by Closets & More, a locally owned closets company that providing custom design closets and storage solutions. Closets & More can be reached at 605-334-5135 or online at closetsandmoresd.com.
6:35 left in the first half. 21-6. Knights all over the Cavaliers. Short kick.
Oh, ball popped out and it's recovered by O'Gorman.
Yeah, baby. Is that? It's like 50 degrees out. Is that ball that cold? I mean, they had a lot of drop.
Now there's a flag on the field, and it looked like Struck and a player from Jefferson got into it after the play. A Jefferson defender kind of pushed Struck at the end of the play, and Struck gave it back to him. It'll be interesting to see who's going to get called for this.
Usually it's a second one.
Just an extracurricular activity there.
After the play, dead ball, personal foul, O'Gorman, number 26. Where the ball is recovered by O'Gorman, first down.
They're going to give it to Struck on the personal foul.
Oh, they always miss the first guy. Yeah, that takes the ball back to the 47-yard line of the Knights. Still a great field position on that fumble. What can we do here?
Snap, fake of the give out to Satter. Along the edge, breaks away from a tackle. Sadler down the sideline. Satter stiff arms a man out of bounds and is down at the 25-yard line.
They tried to push him out, and Satter's trying to stay in, and like you said, stiff arm. He wants to pick up another couple yards. Way to go.
Back down at the 25-yard line. There's 22 on the play, and that's not going to change for a nice first and 10.
Like you mentioned a little while ago, these boys are fired up.
Jones off the tackle, makes a defender miss down inside the 10-yard line, and it's another first and goal for O'Gorman.
You swear he was a senior. the way that young man runs is phenomenal. And he's a sophomore, folks. He just got the intuition. He knows what to do when he's got the ball.
Dannenbring will keep along the right side. He's got room to run. Barrels his way into the end zone. Touchdown O'Gorman. It's 27-6 with 5:23 left in the second quarter, and the Knights are making one heck of a statement on the road. It's been point after point after point, and O'Gorman leads by 3 touchdowns with 5 minutes still here in the second quarter.
That was like a minute and 12 seconds off the clock on that drive after that fumble by the Cavaliers.
O'Gorman 4 drives, 4 touchdowns. Extra point on the way up and good. This O'Gorman offense has really turned the tide from what it has been earlier on in the season. So this last scoring drive has been brought to you by Sioux Falls O'Gorman has been brought to you by Closets and More, a locally owned, custom designed closets and storage solutions. Closets and More. Let's take that from the top. That scoring drive for the O'Gorman Knights has been brought to you by Closets and More, a locally owned company providing custom designed closets and storage solutions. Closets and More can be reached at 605-334-5135 or online at closetsandmoresd.com.
Take 2. There we go.
There you go. You can hear Brett clapping in the background. Yeah. Rah, rah.
But now, what an emotion there. You know, Jefferson, we kicked off. They fumbled it. It was kind of a squib kick. They fumbled it, and all of a sudden we take it right down. Boom, we scored, like I said, 2 touchdowns in a minute and 12, 14 seconds. It's like, you got to take a little bit of the wind out of their sail. Here's the kick. Another squib kick.
Another squibber that'll die around the 30-yard line. This time finally picked up by Bo Giblin, who's got room along the edge before he's wrapped up by Rylan Satter.
84, the sophomore.
Turn of 8 yards. The Cavs will take over first and 10.
Jefferson will come out on the offensive end here, trailing 28-6 here in the second quarter. Ashley will just heave one down the sideline for Griffin. Wilde, who did not grab. Oh, Yeah, who
No.
did not hang on to the catch.
No.
He smacked into the ground. The ball bounced out of the hands. For a second, I thought that ref was going to say he caught it.
The crowd didn't like that call. Can't really see it on the replay. 2nd and 10 for the Cavaliers. Five to 11 to go. 8 seconds on the clock. They're going to have to hurry it up here. 5.
4, and Jefferson's going to take a timeout with 3 seconds on the play clock. So with 5:11 here in the second quarter, the Knights lead 28-6, and a timeout for the Cavaliers will send us into a commercial break here on Real Presence Radio Network.
I'm Bishop Donald DeGrood. I'd like to invite you to the Through God's Love Conference on Saturday, October 30th at the Sioux Falls Convention Center. Over the last few months, we've been spreading the word about the diocesan vision, lifelong Catholic missionary discipleship through God's love. Now I'd like to invite you to participate in this conference, where we will help you respond to God's call and in turn help others know and love Him themselves. Visit sfcatholic.org and join me in the renewal the Holy Spirit is working in our diocese.
Welcome back to Howard Wood. O'Gorman leads 28-6 over the Jefferson Cavaliers right now in what has been an absolutely dominant first half performance from O'Gorman.
But I will say this. O'Gorman's hot down there. It's a little chilly up here. We're in the shade, and it's like 50 degrees.
Dan.
I had to put my coat on, folks. It's a little bit
We've
chilly.
got the window open for the camera, so we're biting the bullet a little bit here just so you viewers at home can watch it without having to see the reflection through the glass. Ashley with a 1-yard carry on second down will bring up 3rd down and 9.
And these two young bucks are giving the old man a little bit of a hard time. That was chilly. Well, look who's got their coat on over there.
The brittle bones. Hey, I'm out here with my sweatshirt on only, so I'll brave the elements.
But your hands are inside your sweater.
They are.
And your sweatshirt.
3rd down and 8 is what the Cavaliers will be faced with here. Ball at their own 39-yard line. They need the 47.
This is their 5th possession.
Empty set. They'll send Kolb in motion. They'll drop back to pass over the middle through the hands of the receiver Schmoss. And that'll bring up 4th down, and Jefferson will have to punt.
This will be their 3rd punt.
So Gorman's going to get the football back again.
4:20 to go.
They've had 4 touchdown drives so far. Four drives, 4 touchdowns. They've got 263 yards right now on 24 plays. Jefferson 18 plays, 86 yards. That ball is going to be caught by Konechny, who's going to split the gap just shy of the 40-yard line. And the Knights will take over with pretty decent field position again. This time ball at the 39-yard line. If this game continues to go the way it goes, it's been going, I don't think that you have to risk Struck playing any offense right now, and I don't think you have to risk any other guys playing out of their position, if you will, or out of their comfort zone. If you can continue to run the ball the effective way you have been so far, you don't, I mean, it's like beating a dead horse, but you don't take the ball out of Maverick Jones' hands right now, or Dannenbring with his 2 receivers that he's been throwing to.
Run the ball, eat the clock up.
Yep. It'd be crucial if O'Gorman can put this ball in the end zone because they'll receive the second half kickoff as well.
Momentum.
So if O'Gorman puts this ball in the end zone, it would be 35-6 with the football coming back to him to start the second half.
So Jefferson's had the ball 3 punts, a touchdown, and the fumble.
O'Gorman will have the ball at the 41-yard line. They need the 49 for a first down. It's second down. Full house set in the backfield. Snap, give. Jones along the edge. Got room to run. Hurdles over a man just shy of the first down. And he'll be at the 48-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and 1.
He looked a little like Ezekiel Elliott, didn't he there, Isaac?
Yeah, get your Cowboys plug in there. Why don't you?
Don't get the Cowgirls.
5 and 1.
Cowboys involved.
5 and 1 and an out in the playoffs. For a first down, The Knights continue to move the chains on the offensive end, and with 3 minutes exactly on the clock here in the second quarter, the Knights have it across the 50 and a brand new set of downs.
Or Jerry Jones will cry about something.
Jerry Jones can hardly see what's on the field anymore.
He's older than me. That's old.
That's older than dirt. 1st and 10, ball at the 47-yard line. Snap to Dannenbring. He'll drop back to pass. He's going to have nobody open. He'll take off on the ground, avoids one tackle, and then is brought down after a gain of 1. It's number 14 on the tackle there, Caden Frederes. Oh, my gosh. Camden Frederes. There we go.
Clock's running. Coming up on 2 minutes to go in the halftime here. 28-6. Knights on top and driving. Have the ball on their 46-yard line of the Knights.
Snap, drop back to pass. Dannenbring has a wide open Satter caught across the 30, makes a man miss, and then bounces off a tackle inside the 30 down to the 29-yard line, and it's another first down for O'Gorman. Ball will be at the 29-yard line, 1:45 on the clock, first down and 10. And O'Gorman continues to rumble their way down the field.
They'll probably try to take this clock right down and score right like 10 seconds before half.
Dannenbring takes the snap, drops back to pass. He's got an open Peyton Hagee, caught it at the 20, rustling his way down inside the 15, down to the 12, give him the 11, and that's another first down for O'Gorman.
They're still playing soft.
Yeah, the soft man coverage out there just really allowing them.
I can't believe that Jefferson's not playing tighter than that when he's out there, when he's running out on the flat.
Dannenbring will take the snap. He'll fake it now. He'll give it to Jones. Off tackle and into the end zone again. Touchdown O'Gorman. It's 34-6 with a minute to go in the second quarter. And don't look right now, but the O'Gorman Knights are as hot as can be. Maverick Jones into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the ball game.
5 possessions.
5 scores.
Yep.
This is starting to look like last week against Huron, against a much more capable opponent in Jefferson. Nelson on to kick the extra point. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is up, and that is good. So with 1:02 left here in the second quarter, the Knights lead 35-6 over the Jefferson Cavaliers. Stay tuned for more on Real Presence Radio Network.
Upon graduation from O'Gorman High School, you will receive far more than a diploma. You get the values of a Catholic education, the support and reach of thousands of alum from across the country, the knowledge that you can become who you were meant to be, and our community will be right there by your side. You belong in blue. O'Gorman High School.
Are you ready for some football? Real Presence Radio has you covered. We will be broadcasting and video streaming Sioux Falls O'Gorman Knights football games both home and away this fall, starting on Saturday, August 28th. Have your business's radio spot heard across the radio, YouTube video stream, mobile app, and RPR website during all our O'Gorman football broadcasts. If your business would like to sponsor our O'Gorman football broadcast, contact me, Brett Byler, at 605-670-8333.
With them last year.
Welcome back to Howard Wood Field here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. A pooch kick over near the 40-yard line caught by Cohen Henry across the 40 to the 42-yard line where the Jefferson Cavaliers will take over. That last scoring drive for Sioux Falls O'Gorman was brought to you by Closets & More, a locally owned company providing custom-designed closets and storage solutions. Closets & More can be reached at 605-334-5135 or online at closetsandmoresd.com. Man, have they got their money's worth here in the last couple of weeks of O'Gorman football.
Last 4 weeks.
Want to give a quick shout out to a couple of listeners in the car on their way, I don't know, home probably from Omaha, Nebraska. That ball wobbling and incomplete. The Klinkhammers, family friends of ours, listening. Oliver, Will, and Elliot, young boys in the back seat, tuning into some O'Gorman football as it's a 35-6 trouncing of the Jefferson
How old are
Cavaliers right now. So the oldest one is in my youngest brother's grade, so a 6th grader, and then the other two are a bit younger, not too many years apart.
Future Knights.
Yeah, Future Knights, of course. In about, let's say here, 4 years, 5 years, you might see. Yep, Oliver.
I'll remember that name.
Look out for that name, yep.
That's a Howard name.
Snap, roll out is Talon Ashley looking for somebody open. There's just nothing doing. Throws on the run. Too high off the face mask of Preston Konechny and incomplete, nearly picked off.
Wow. We got a flag. We have a flag on the field. And it's on the lineman downfield.
There is so much action going on down there.
David's looking over, pointing at it, going, look, guys. So they'll be taking it back. Be second and long then.
Ineligible receiver, downfield, number 56, offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains. Take it down.
The ref had to add 1 more yard. Here we go. 42 seconds left in half.
2nd down and 15. Jacobson flushing Ashley out of the pocket. He'll roll out. Throw, it's tipped into the air. Nearly intercepted by Struck. Off of his hands and incomplete.
Oh, that.
Knights almost had back-to-back interception. That time, Struck dropping back to the receiver. It hit off his hands, bounced straight into the air. We'll see on the replay here. A wobbly pass off of the fingertips of Struck, and then before Kolb could get it, Struck pushed him out of bounds. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 16. So 2 times now O'Gorman receivers, and these passes from Ashley have just been wobbly so far. That'd be a tough catch regardless.
And that's not like him.
Ashley, quick screen over to the side, Struck the nearest defender and will push Kolb out of bounds, and that'll bring up 4th down. So 29 seconds left here in the 2nd quarter. And it's 4th down and 12.
And they're going to call a timeout. Jefferson calls their 2nd timeout here of the half with 29 seconds to go.
We'll keep it right here.
They have the ball on the 39, their own 39. I see a Hail Mary coming. They got to do something to get back into this, to fire up the team here a little bit. And we're going to have some Jefferson Cavaliers marching band. It's getting set up down in the end zone, in the far end zone, to put on their show for everybody here at halftime. First game of doubleheader here tonight at Howard Wood Field. Washington and Lincoln play the 2nd game. And then you go to 9A and B and stuff. It's playoff night tonight for them. They started a week earlier, so.
See if I can get some scores here as Roosevelt leads Aberdeen Central 14-7 up at the Hub City with a minute left to go in the 2nd quarter. So very similar time here. Expect a little quick kick here out of Jefferson. I don't think you'd give O'Gorman the football right here. Yep, snap, quick kick. Very high, impressive punt down to the 10-yard line. Wow, that was a beautiful punt.
Nice ball, nice kick. Down to the 8-yard line as they're going to
London
spot it.
Kolb sent that one to the moon and back. And this will most likely end O'Gorman's 5 drives, 5 touchdowns here, as they're going to have to put a knee to end this half.
Shoot, I thought we'd go 6 for 6. But 5 for 6 drives isn't too bad. Pretty darn good.
And O'Gorman will get the ball to open up the 2nd half. That's the big story right now.
They're going to down it.
Snap to Danenbring, and he'll put a knee on it, and that'll do it for the 1st half. O'Gorman making a statement on the road here at Howard Wood Field. 35-6 over the Jefferson Cavaliers as we head into the halftime. Stay tuned for more on the O'Gorman Knights halftime show here on Real Presence Radio Network after the break, as we have live stats coverage of the last half of football, as well as some things to look out for in O'Gorman coming around the bend this weekend, and some more news on O'Gorman on Real Presence Radio Network.
Barnett Vision Clinic in Sioux Falls offers comprehensive eye exams to assess their patients' eye health, including students and young athletes. At Barnett Vision Clinic, we offer a variety of glasses, contacts, and sunglasses to fit our patients' needs, including brands such as Oakley, Ray-Ban, Nike, Kate Spade, and Nano Vista glasses for kids. Dr. James Barnett is a proud O'Gorman alumni and St. Michael's parishioner. To schedule an appointment, we can be reached at 605-335-7757 or online at barnettvisionclinic.com.
J&J Caseworks and Closets and More is a proud sponsor of the O'Gorman Knights. Following the same rich, winning tradition, family, and Christian values, J&J Caseworks strives to create a work environment to call home. Family owned and operated, J&J Caseworks has several full-time positions available. Our team members pursue career goals, learn new skills, and get the recognition they deserve. To set up an appointment, J&J Caseworks can be reached at 605-332-0805 or email jobs@jmjcaseworks.com. Go Knights!
Your family is depending on you to provide financial security for them. The Knights of Columbus can help you with insurance solutions such as disability income, long-term care, both term and whole life, annuities, retirement, and estate planning services. Join the Knights of Columbus today at kfc.org/join us for access to all these insurance services. Call the BB Agency at 605-882-8689. That's 605-882-8689.
Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade on 41st Street in Sioux Falls offers a daily buffet featuring a variety of pizza choices, salad bar, and chicken. Pizza Ranch has a spacious dining room as well as 8 party rooms that fit different group sizes. Their online menu provides another option for their customers to order from. Pizza Ranch is located across from O'Gorman High School on 41st Street and can be contacted by calling 271-8646. Pizza Ranch is a strong supporter of O'Gorman Knights athletics and activities.
From the Real Presence Radio Network, welcome to the O'Gorman Knights Halftime Show. Brought to you by your Knights of Columbus field agents for the Sioux Falls area, Jeff Gillen and Phil Carlson.
Welcome back to Howard Wood Field here as the O'Gorman Knights have come out and made a statement on the road, leading 35-6 here in the final regular season football game of the AAA season. O'Gorman came out and controlled the ball game right out of the gates. They went 5 consecutive possessions with 5 consecutive scores and basically took the life out of Jefferson in the first quarter. They led 14-6. Jefferson had that long scoring drive, and other than that have not put together much offense whatsoever. Taylon Ashley only 6 of 13 for 28 yards with a long of 8. And O'Gorman, Benedetto bring 11 of 13 for 177 yards and a touchdown. So O'Gorman has really been providing everything on the offensive end, and Jefferson has really been struggling to get anything going. O'Gorman 3 of 4 on third downs to Jefferson 2 of 6. And O'Gorman with 324 yards of offense to Jefferson's 90. And O'Gorman has just been doing everything that they've wanted to so far.
Time of possession. O'Gorman Knights up 35 points in 12 minutes and 53 seconds. Jefferson 6 points for 10 minutes and 47 seconds of the first half. So,
yeah, it's been just an impressive first half performance offensively for O'Gorman and a really good performance defensively as well. If you can hold Jefferson to 90 yards of offense on 23 plays, you're doing something right. And O'Gorman only been penalized twice, Jefferson only once, so it's been a clean football game, and it's just been what's a clean butt kicking, if you will, just lining up and being more dominant from the man across from you so far in the first half. Now, obviously, things can be subject to change, but right now, O'Gorman doing everything that Jefferson isn't so far early in this ball game. So, we'll get ready to head into a break. When we come back, we'll have our Inside O'Gorman segment with Brett Byler talking to O'Gorman cross-country coach Aaron Strand to preview the girls and boys state cross-country meet on Saturday at Yankton Trails in Sioux Falls. And that is next on the Knights Halftime Show here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Jardine Construction is a general contractor of custom homes, remodeling, and commercial construction. Jardine Construction works in close cooperation with project owners and customers when developing a plan for a building or home. Jardine Construction has lots available in Sioux Falls, Hartford, and Humboldt. Mark can be reached at 605-951-1803 and Tom at 605-261-6174.
Did you know you can listen to the RPR network when you're on the go? Just search for Real Presence Radio in your app store. Listen live to any station across the network at any time, so you can stay connected to your local community from wherever you are. Plus, if you miss a program, the Real Presence Radio app is your one-stop shop for local and national podcasts, including our signature show, Real Presence Live. The Real Presence Radio app, with you every step of your faith journey. Download it today and see what you've been missing.
Welcome back to Inside O'Gorman, sponsored by the Bishop O'Gorman Catholic Schools. I'm now joined by O'Gorman cross-country coach Aaron Strand. Coach, your girls and boys team had their final tune-up before the state meet with the Metro Conference meet last Thursday at McCarty Park. Overall, Coach, what was your assessment of how your boys and girls ran in that Metro meet?
Hey, Brett, just want to start by thanking you for covering us and all the O'Gorman activities. It's great to have you doing all you guys do in the halftime show, so it's fun hearing about the different teams. Yeah, we had our tune-up meet. It's the Metro meet. I guess you can't really call it a tune-up meet. You're going against some of the best teams in the state with our 17 Metro, so it's quite the competition. I say this all the time. There's almost every year where we'll place 3rd, 4th, or 5th at the Metro and place higher at state when we get all the teams together. It's great competition. It's a lot of fun to get to go see those schools. You know, on the boys' side, we really haven't had a chance to piece our whole team together yet due to, some injuries, due to soccer, some different things. So it's going to be fun Saturday to get that boys' team together and have them all racing as one team. So I'm really looking forward to that. Metro-wise, the kids that did run did have great races, again, against some tough competition. So we had a great meet with those guys. Girls-wise, we ran into a little fluke injury with Leah Hardy. She wasn't able to finish the race, but our girls stepped up. The top 4 teams in the state are Lincoln, us, Brandon, and then Stevens. So we ended up getting 3rd to Lincoln and Brandon. Our girls competed really well as well. Last year we ran the same course at Metro, so a lot of those kids ran last year. And looking at times running the exact same course, we had kids, 20, 30, up to a full minute improvement from last year. So that's really exciting as a coach to see those kids running well against great competition going into our state week.
Hey, Coach, as we all know, cross-country season is kind of a grind with a lot of miles, a lot of meets. You've had 7 meets this year, with the last one being the state meet this Saturday. A lot of miles ran through the season. Overall, as you head into state, how is the health of your boys and girls squads?
Fairly well. On the boys' side, I would say everybody's pretty healthy except Evan Maharis. He's kind of dealing with some foot issues. We did get to go see a doctor this weekend, and we got to clear, that he can run on it and stuff. So a lot of that's going to be challenging for him. As a younger kid, a freshman, running through an injury isn't easy. So hopefully we can kind of get him in a good spot Saturday because he's a kid that, could be top 25. Otherwise, on the boys' side, I'd say we're healthy everywhere else. On the girls' side, like I said, we kind of had fluke injury with Aaliyah. She had a good weekend. We're just kind of gave her the weekend off. We're getting back to running today. So hopefully she's feeling good and we can get her legs back underneath her and feeling good and stuff. So on the girls' side, that's definitely a big question mark because if you don't get to run the 2-time defending state champion, team-wise, we're going to have to run a little better. But even if that is the case, we got some great girls and still will have a great showing at state, hopefully in that top 3 range. So,
Coach, you always, as a coach, want your team peaking, as you enter playoffs or state meets or whatnot. Do you feel like your boys and girls teams overall are kind of peaking right now at this point in the season?
I really do. We've had some great luck over the last few years, always running our best races at state. We kind of set the schedule up that way. We do some pretty tough meets, going to the Roy Griak, the Augie Twilights become that way. So we get to run at some events that are basically bigger competition-wise than the state meet. So then we kind of, try to ease back down. We go to Haywarden and then we, do our conference and it's on to state. So our meets are set that way. The way we train set that way. So I really do. I think right now this week we've kind of told the kids the hard work's put in. This week we're just trying to get everybody feeling good, feeling confident, and just getting ready for a great state meet.
Coach, you had 5 of your top 7 boys last year compete at the state meet, and 4 of your top 7 girls obviously have competed at different state meets before. Do you think that experience for those kids who have already ran in a state meet before will help them kind of maybe calm them down with the big pressure maybe of the state meet on Saturday?
Yeah, it definitely helps having, 4 or 5 kids in each group that have run at the state meet before. I talk about we do some bigger meets throughout the year to help kind of prepare for that. The whole season comes down to this final race. So whether it's 5 teams or 20 teams, this is it. So there is that pressure. Hopefully we can kind of talk kids through that this week. Definitely having kids that have already lined up, experienced that, had success last year, that'll definitely help with those other kids that it's kind of new to.
And finally, Coach, your boys finished 13th last season in the state cross-country meet. Girls got first overall. Just talk about your expectations this year for your boys and girls in the state meet on Saturday.
Yeah, on the boys' side, we really want to build on that. I would say we're ranked about 9th or 10th right now in the state. But, again, we haven't really got to run our whole team together. So once we put them together, and, again, hopefully we can get Evan feeling healthy, we have 3 potential kids. Jack Castelli, he's top 5, top 10 kid if we have a good race. Andrew Daly is a top 20 kid. And Evan, like I said, has been running a little banged up. But if we can get him feeling good for Saturday, he's a top 25 kid. And then you start throwing a couple seniors that it's their last race, and really looking forward to see those guys hopefully try to get in that top 6, because then you get up on the podium. That'd be a great way to end it with Max and Sam as our senior leaders. On the girls' side, we are the defending state champs. We have a great group back. We just got to get them all feeling healthy. Lincoln, Brandon, and we haven't got to see Stevens for a while, but those 3 squads are running really well. So we're going to have to go out there and, run our best race and, hopefully give it a shot, and we can repeat as state champs.
Thanks so much, Coach. Good luck at the state meet.
Thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
And that was Aaron Strand, O'Gorman boys and girls cross country coach. I just want to run through the rosters of the kids that will be competing at the state cross country meet for the defending state champion O'Gorman girls. Aaliyah Hardy is the back-to-back defending state champion. Libby Castelli, Ruth Party. Libby and Ruth both placed in the top 10 last year. Lainey Castelluzzo, and then Kira Pinto and Kenzie Heinrich. And then Cecilia Christensen will round out the girls' team. I believe they and then for the 7 boys will be Jack Castelli, who has a chance to do pretty well, as Coach Strand mentioned. Evan Marus, Dominic Ripperda, Sam Party, Max Wetzel. Then we also have on the boys Sam Prairie and then Andrew Daly are the boys. The boys are kind of trying to get on that medal stand, which is a top 6. And then the girls, between our girls, I believe, and Lincoln, Brandon Valley, and maybe Stevens. So the girls varsity runs at 1 o'clock. That's at Yankton Trails on Saturday. So go out, support them, and the boys will follow at 2:30. And we'll be interested to see how they do. And you can, Dakota Timing has a link that kind of keeps you updated. And also the OG Track Twitter page is good as well. And thanks to Coach Strand, and good luck to those boys and girls, Dan.
If you're not familiar with Sioux Falls, Yankton Trails Park is right on the south side of 229 between Minnesota and Western Avenue. You can come in off 57th, and you come off on Minnesota and 229 to get into the park. Let's talk about some other things going on this week at O'Gorman. Okay, this is Thursday, final night of football. Tomorrow's Friday, 7 o'clock. The O'Gorman girls, ranked number 2 in the state, and girls volleyball will be taking on the number 1 ranked Warriors of Washington at O'Gorman. 7 o'clock is the first game, best of 5 wins. I think the place will be packed tomorrow night.
Yeah, get there early. I think the JV usually starts around 4:30, and then there's freshman, sophomore games, and I'll be video streaming it, so I should hopefully have the stream up and running by around 4:30, 5 o'clock. That's Real Presence Radio Sioux Falls YouTube page, and I'm very excited to see that game tomorrow night.
Keep it where you're at tonight when you're there. So then on Saturday, you have the cheerleading dance state meet over at Brandon Valley, and we talked about the boys and girls soccer. And then next Tuesday is volleyball versus Harrisburg at 7 o'clock, and that is at OG. Next Thursday night, we're back to the first round of the playoff games, and hopefully we'll be at the MAC the way we're going, and hopefully the other teams align with everything, and we'll be playing next Thursday night, and that's usually at 5 or 6 o'clock. Depends on the high school activities will decide what time is that going on.
Let's hope it's not as windy as Isaac's first round playoff game his senior year at O'Gorman against Aberdeen Central. And that cold, windy night. Remember that one, Isaac?
That was just awful. Oh, my gosh.
Poor Jerry Pileshi had to go on the roof for ESPN Radio that day. And I think that's the last time Jerry came to O'Gorman to do a football game.
Thank God Jerry's got a little meat on him, because if it had been you, it would have blew you off. So.
Yeah, poor Isaac lost him that night. One other thing you didn't mention quickly, Dan, the Oral and Terp is at Sioux Falls, Washington. That's tomorrow, so good luck to the Oral and Terp kids. Yeah, a busy week for O'Gorman. We'll be also streaming the volleyball game Tuesday night against Harrisburg at O'Gorman as well. I look forward to seeing Bergen Riley, because the game I streamed, she was not around. She was doing the USA thing. So this, I think, would be my first couple games seeing her play this year, and tremendous volleyball player. And Dan, she's going to a college up in Nebraska that's pretty well known for volleyball. Do you know what college that is?
Well, see, my daughter goes to Wayne State, so it's right south of there. And she's gonna be down there playing for Nebraska.
Oh yeah, go Huskers! And just remember,
Big Red.
Another O'Gorman athlete, Aaliyah Hardy, 2 weeks or so ago committed to UNL to run track and cross country. So congratulations to Miss Aaliyah Hardy. She's also going to be a Husker.
Good for her. So the Inside O'Gorman brought to you by Bishop O'Gorman Catholic Schools, our 6 elementary schools, junior high and high school, exemplified gospel values, strong student achievement, and community service. Our schools strive to have excellence where it counts in faith, academics, in our community, and the opportunities offered to our students. Visit ognights.org and schedule a tour. Get a hold of Jenny Struck, and she'll tell you everything you want to know to get your kids enrolled at Sioux Falls Bishop O'Gorman Catholic Schools.
So some scores from around the state. As obviously there's not many games going on at this exact time window. The only other game that is going on in AAA right now is Roosevelt and Aberdeen. Roosevelt clinging to a 14-7 lead right now on the road at Aberdeen Central. Now,
wouldn't that be crazy, Isaac, if Roosevelt would lose that one to Aberdeen?
If Roosevelt loses that game and we beat Jefferson and then Washington beats Lincoln, well, I guess, Washington beats Lincoln.
We'd be the 3.
We'd be the 3 seed, and
That's
we'd
what we're
get
hoping
to
for, baby.
Avoid Harrisburg, barring any chance that they lose tonight.
Which I don't think they will.
Just with the circumstances going on.
And the crazy thing about that is Aberdeen Central started the season 3-0. Now they've lost 5 games in a row.
Yeah.
So that even make it crazier. As hot as Roosevelt is, Aberdeen Central is just the opposite.
Yeah.
And you want to do a couple other games upcoming, Isaac?
So tonight we got the toilet bowl game. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
He had to do it.
Rapid City Central and Rapid City Stevens will play this evening at 7 p.m. in Rapid City. So the 2 Rapid schools hungry for a win against each other as always, fighting for that last spot in the playoffs. Rapid City Central 1-7, Rapid City Stevens 2-6. If Central wins that game, I still don't know if they have enough power points to be able to take over the 8 seed. So I think it's more of just playing for pride at this point. That game's at 7 o'clock. Then Brandon Valley Harrisburg, that game at 7 as well. However, Brandon Valley playing without their quarterback tonight at home against the number 1 ranked Tigers. And then Sioux Falls, Lincoln, and Washington, that game at 8 o'clock here at Howard Wood. That should be a fantastic ball game and have big-time playoff implications for multiple teams around the state. And then the only other games that are important to watch out for in AA action, Brookings and Pierre has just kicked off, and then Watertown, Yankton, and T and West Central tonight. Those are some other games to look out for.
So, I'm going to bet this is South Dakota football. Gayville Vollen 8-0 over Langford. Del Rapids St. Mary's, you got to root for them. They're on top of Sickney, Corsica 6-0, and that is in 9B. 9A right now, Howard is on top of Kimball White Lake 6-0. Everything else is a 6 o'clock start. It's Mount Vernon Plankington on top of Beersford 6-0. Elk Point Jefferson St. Tommy Moore 7-0. A winner 16, Clark-Willow Lake, nothing here with 7 minutes in the first. Bridgewater Emory Ethan on top of Hot Springs 14-0. And that's in 11B. So a lot of games are starting up, and big night of football across the state. I think everybody's playing. There's a few teams that didn't make the playoffs in the 9A and B.
So about 2:56 left before we start the second half, and we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get ready for that second half. Tonight's halftime show for Sioux Falls O'Gorman has been sponsored by the BB Agency, supporting Knights of Columbus Insurance for South Dakota, Southwest Minnesota, and northeastern Iowa. For life insurance, long-term care insurance, and retirement products, call the BB Agency at 605-882-8689 to connect with a field agent near you. Knights of Columbus Insurance, strong, dependable, faith-based insurance protecting your family's financial future. Well, we'll have you guys back in a few minutes here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Teresa Curley, Listener Relationship Coordinator for Eastern South Dakota, and I would like to personally invite you to the 4th Annual Real Presence Radio Sioux Falls Banquet on Tuesday, November 2nd at the Best Western Plus Ramkota Hotel. Social hour starts at 5:30 p.m., followed by a meal at 6:30, and Dr. Stacy Trasankos will be the keynote speaker. To register for the banquet, go to realpresenceradio.com/banquet or call or text me at 803-427-3961.
Upon graduation from O'Gorman High School, you will receive far more than a diploma. You get the values of a Catholic education, the support and reach of thousands of alum from across the country, the knowledge that you can become who you were meant to be, and our community will be right there by your side. You belong in blue. O'Gorman High School.
Welcome back to Howard Wood Field as the Knights get ready to receive the second half kickoff here in a 35-6 ball game. As Jefferson lines up to kick, O'Gorman looking to receive. They had 6 drives in the opening half. One of them was just a kneel down, but the first 5 drives resulted in touchdowns for O'Gorman. So a hot start offensively for the Knights, and a good defensive showing has given the Knights this gigantic lead here heading into the second half. This is one of the best games they've played against a competent opponent this season.
Can the Knights keep this intensity up, Isaac?
I would assume so. I mean, I think that obviously they'll come out and run the ball a little bit again and try to take some time off the clock and just really not let Jefferson have any chance of getting back into this football game. But you never know. With Coach Jason Popinga, he's always got a little trick up his sleeve. So touchback. Oh. Well,
perfect timing.
Hey. Imagine if we get to a running clock situation and we're out of here by 7:30.
You mean I get home for my bedtime?
Oh, Dan, I was going to say that's Dan's bedtime.
No, it's 8:30 on here. You guys got to give me a little extra out. Hey, you got daylight savings time in a couple of weeks.
Snap to Dannenbring. Quick out pass to Rylan Satter, who's got room to run down the sideline, breaks a tackle, and then steps out of bounds before it was ripped out. So it was ripped out of his arms as he was stepped out of bounds. The ball wound up in Jefferson's hand. We're going to take a look here on the replay. Satter got into the second level, had his shirt tugged on.
And they come and swat the ball. Yep, he's out of bounds right there. Yep.
Yeah, very close, but it looked like he was out of bounds. Now a give to Maverick Jones along the sideline where he's wrapped up and thrown down, but not after a gain of 7 yards.
Jefferson's a little fired up themselves.
Yep.
I mean, I'm sure they got a little bit of a chat in the locker room. Both student sections in pink. That's nice to see.
So O'Gorman will come out here offensively. Ball across the 50-yard line, 2nd down and 4. Snap to Dannenbring. Quick drop-off pass to Satter down the sideline. Runs through a tackle and out of bounds. Satter's such a thick body to bring down at that wide receiver position. He's just stocky and sturdy. A quick receiver, but when you've got a big frame like that, it's just tough to wrap up and bring down.
6'2", 205.
No, that's just a girthy body to have to bring down, and it's muscle. It's not a little bit of chub by any means. That's muscle down there. Built like a brick.
Manny's what, 6'3", 200? Right at that.
Yep.
So I mean,
Dannenbring rolls out to pass. He's got a receiver open downfield. It's Hagee in the back of the end zone. Tipped and caught! Touchdown, Peyton Hagee!
Yeah, baby. Oh, we have a flag. We got a flag. We have a flag.
There's a flag on the play.
It's going to come back. Oh,
looks like it's an illegal man downfield.
Oh, it's coming back. And that receiver, or the defender, actually tipped it. So who's downfield. But, I mean, that's
Zach Carlson was the guilty party there, the illegal man downfield. Still first down.
But I love it how Dannenbrink had his blocker out there in front of him. And
Dannenbrink took the deep shot. It gets to a point there. Rylan Satter was open if he had realized there was no one behind him. However, he just kind of ran with the defender who was in front of him, made it tough for Dannenbrink to find anywhere to throw that football to. This time a quick screen over to Satter again, who makes a defender miss, rumbles his way across the first down yardage, and picks up another first down. He was open, and if he just has that little bit of awareness to just look over his shoulder quick and realize no one's there, you can kind of float your way downfield. However, it doesn't
17-yard pickup.
Doesn't end up affecting them at all as it's first down and 10, ball at the 26-yard line. Dannenbrink give, Jones keeping on the edge, room to run, breaks a tackle and maybe another tackle down just shy of the first down. Oh, they're going to give him 7 yards. Looked like they were going to give him the extra yardage there, but they said that his knee was down before he hit the turf.
So for those of
you they marked him. That replay there, they marked him a whole yard shy of where he actually was down. You could see it plain as day on the replay, even though, I mean, it's just first down and that yard doesn't seem to matter right now. Dannenbrink flushed from the pocket. He's just going to have to bulldoze his way into a defender. Dannenbrink looking for his mouth guard.
It went flying. And for those of you just joining us at home after you get home from work and you're sitting down and watching the game here on Real Presence YouTube page, it's 35-6. 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Gorman's driving, ball on the 19-yard line.
The Knights, if you're just joining us, have been absolutely dominating the ball game so far. 5 drives, 5 touchdowns in the first half. It's 35-6. Dannenbrink dropping back to pass. He's got Alpers over the middle, guarded heavily and incomplete. Looked like they wanted a flag. They're not going to get it.
Is that the first ball to David today?
Yep. We've got Damian Grebel online saying, eating barbecue and watching in KCMO, Kansas City, Missouri.
He's a St. Lambert parishioner.
And Frank Fitzgibbons on the commentary, or on the comment section here. Frank, it is 35-6.
Okay, fourth down here, Isaac.
Knights will come out from under center. Oh, it looked like there was movement up front.
No. He's set. Oh,
so Carlson's going to get called for the false start. So Carlson having himself a little bit of a tough series, getting called for the illegal man downfield and now the false start.
Well, Brett, you'd be happy. Damian's son goes to USD.
Big win last week over Northern Iowa. Got a little with the in-laws there.
And
little bragging rights.
Hey, it's Hobo Day this weekend. State's got them. We haven't mentioned South Dakota State yet, have we, Isaac?
No.
It's Hobo Day.
I will be in attendance. Dannenbrink to the sideline, caught by Konechny for a first down.
That was a
what a
kick.
Phenomenal grab, tight roping the sideline, getting his feet in bounds.
It looked like a pro catch.
You know, Konechny really having himself a ball game this evening. Kind of emerging as a big threat for O'Gorman the last couple of weeks.
He knew where the sideline was.
Yeah.
I mean,
so 3 receivers bunched to the right, 1 to the left. Snap, Dannenbrink quick out to Satter. Got blocking on the perimeter.
Go.
That's Rush Landry and Hagee freeing up Ryland Satter into the end zone, touchdown. What a block downfield from Peyton Hagee, and the Knights are on the board. It's 41-6, pending the extra point.
Yeah, baby. So we're 6 for 7 tonight. 6 touchdowns out of 7 possessions.
planes are just flying in so low from over here. Offside. That's Giblin. Extra point is up and good. Ref didn't even call that offside.
42-6 here with 8:28 to go in the third quarter from Howard Wood Field. The first ever meeting of the Sioux Falls O'Gorman Knights and the Jefferson Cavaliers.
Real Presence Radio is available on Alexa-enabled devices, including Amazon Echo, phones, tablets, and smart displays. To enable the skill, just say, Alexa, enable Real Presence Radio. To listen, say something like, Alexa, open Real Presence Radio. It will then ask what station you want to play, to which you can respond, play Sioux Falls, or play AM 970, or play WWEN. From there, you can use commands like play, pause, and stop. Listen to RPR anytime, anywhere on Alexa-enabled devices.
Hello, this is Mark Konzemius, president of the Catholic Community Foundation for Eastern South Dakota. Preparing for the end of life can be overwhelming, even scary. Yet as disciples of Christ, we live in great hope and the reality of God's promise that death is not the end, but a new beginning. The End of Life Planning Workbook for Catholics is now available. I encourage you to reach out to one of our Catholic Community Foundation offices or ccfesd.org. May God bless each of us on our journey to heaven.
Welcome back to Howard Wood. As the running clock has been issued into effect now, a 35-point lead in the second half.
Well, I could have made that concert tonight. Got offered tickets for the concert next door, and I said I had a football game and gave them to my daughter.
Well, look at you, so nice and kind-hearted.
That was very nice,
loving.
Very nice of the gentleman to offer him to me in the first place.
Ashley over on the edge. It was caught by Wilde, poked out by Struck, and now they're going to say it's incomplete.
So you think this scores the if Washington, Lincoln, they're here, what they're looking at? They have to be a little shell-shocked, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to read this. There we go. Trying to get a score update, but couldn't get it, and then finally did. Over on the perimeter, that's Bo Giblin on the reception for about a yard. So that Aberdeen score hasn't changed yet. Still 14-6.
Oh, we got a player shaking up down there in the field.
Matichek? No. Who is that down there? Is that Sam Jacobson again? Nope. It's Carter Peterson. All right. Carter is up on his feet.
Franklin got the wind knocked out of him, looks like.
Tiffany, the trainer down there, just looks at Carter and goes, come on, you made me jog all the way across the sideline for you to just get up without me even helping you up?
Well, we had to walk up 5 flights of steps to get here, so everyone's getting a workout in.
It's good for you.
Ashley going to carry and wrapped up in the backfield by David Alpers, who flexes his muscles, and it's Ashley down on the turf.
And that was a good, clean hit. But David got to be a little bit with his emotions. I don't think the refs are going to like that too much when you stand up there and flex right over. That's kind of a little taunting, a little bit. You have to be.
So it looks like we're going to take a break here as Talon Ashley, it's his hamstring that looks like they're rubbing right now. It's 42-6 here with 6:21 left here in the third quarter. Knights on top at Howard Wood.
Crossroads Book and Music is a local source for Catholic gifts and supplies. From rosaries and medals to books and Bibles, Crossroads is here with materials to help individuals in their walk with Christ. Crossroads also has gifts for weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, and special occasions. Crossroads is located at 41st and Grange, next to Camille's, and are online at crossroadsbook.com. Crossroads, books, gifts, music.
J&J Caseworks and Closets and More is a proud sponsor of the O'Gorman Knights. Following the same rich, winning tradition, family, and Christian values, JMJ Caseworks strives to create a work environment to call home. Family-owned and operated, JMJ Caseworks has several full-time positions available. Our team members pursue career goals, learn new skills, and get the recognition they deserve. To set up an appointment, JMJ Caseworks can be reached at 605-332-0805 or email jobs@jmjcaseworks.com. Go Knights!
Welcome back to Real Presence Radio Network.
I'll be punting here.
So Talon Ashley.
Oh,
what a snag by Anthony Erickson. That ball spiraling kick down to the 40. A one-handed grab over his shoulder. It's Ashley down on the medical table. They're working on that right leg.
I thought that was going to be a safety the way it was going to fly over his head, but nice grab. So the Knights take over on their own 40, on the Cavaliers' 42-yard line.
I was going to say punters are athletes too, like
Yeah,
Pat McAfee would always say, right?
There you go.
Do it for the brand.
Yep, for the brand, baby.
Pat McAfee.
I want to give a shout out to Chase Altenberg and Grady Goldbranson, who are watching this ball game right now as Maverick Jones plunges his way forward for 11 yards on first down. Good buddies of mine.
You can be buddies with Harrisburg kids, Isaac?
It's tough to see.
Ooh. My godson goes to Harrisburg, so.
Quick screen out to Satter.
Satter's just playing one heck of a ball game. He can pretty much catch anything. Clock still running, 4:20 to go here in the third quarter. 42-6. I think they're going to take their time and run that clock.
Dannenbring flushed from the pocket, throws on the run, caught by Hagee. Touchdown O'Gorman. Bennett Dannenbring to Peyton Hagee again for another touchdown reception.
And Dannenbring was kind of rushed there, in trouble, and all of a sudden Hagee come right across, and Dannenbring's got eyes. He saw that white. Here he come. Nice ball, though. Great ball. All the way across the end zone, and good feet work to get it in.
Extra point on its way up, and good. A short kick there.
(49-6). The scoring drive at Sioux Falls O'Gorman Knights been brought to you by Closets and More, a locally owned company providing custom designed closets and storage solutions. Closets and More can be reached by calling 605-334-5135 or online at closetsandmoresd.com.
And we got a score update, guys. Roosevelt's now up on Aberdeen Central in the Hub City, 28-7. So the Rough Riders now have scored a couple touchdowns and look like they're in control of that ball game. Which, if they win, then they would go to 5-4. O'Gorman wins tonight; they would be 5-4. Washington beats Lincoln tonight; they would be 5-4. Theme. And Lincoln loses, then they would be 5-4. So it would be a four-way tie for the 5-4 for your seeds, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
But we beat Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's where.
And then Lincoln beat us. I don't know. I mean, it's too much math.
So in this scenario like that, if they're winning, we're winning. We want Washington to win. Is that how you look at it? Yeah. Squib kick again. Nice run back, about 12, 14-yard run back. Takes it out to the 43-yard line.
So we'll find out who Jefferson will send in at quarterback here with Ashley still out on the sideline, talking to the OI athletic trainers down on the sideline.
Looks like Mr. Fifely. Oh, he's on crutches, so he won't be back.
No.
No, he won't be back.
Up the middle, a lot of room to run, and tackled at the 38-yard line. That was Emmanuel Dorbar.
Second time they've got down that deep.
What a tackle by Rush Landry.
So Heidelberger is the quarterback. .5'10" junior.
Jefferson will come out, 3 receivers to the left side. Dropping back to pass, firing a pass over the top where it's incomplete, intended for Cohen Henry.
Third down.
Heiberger comes in and launches one down the sideline. So Heiberger will come out of the gun with 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. He'll roll out to the right side where he's got Wilde on a skip pass incomplete off the turf.
Fourth down. They're going to go for it. They are 40% on fourth down conversions for the Cavaliers.
Snap, drop back, need 14 yards, over the middle, tipped and incomplete. I bet we might see Hayden Gross in the Knights.
Here's number 7. Yep.
So yes, Gross has come in, and the clock will run due to the running clock in effect here. So the clock will run down through into the fourth quarter. 20 or 15 seconds left on the clock here. So Gorman will just wait it out until the start of the next quarter before they send out Hayden Gross and some reserve players in on the offensive end. At the end of 3, O'Gorman 49, Jefferson 6 here at Howard Wood on a crisp afternoon into the evening now from Howard Wood Field. Stay tuned for more O'Gorman Knights football on Real Presence Radio Network.
Crossroads Book and Music is a local source for Catholic gifts and supplies. From rosaries and medals to books and Bibles, Crossroads is here with materials to help individuals in their walk with Christ. Crossroads also has gifts for weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, and special occasions. Crossroads is located at 41st and Grange, next to Camille's, and are online at crossroadsbook.com. Crossroads, books, gifts, music.
JMJ Caseworks and Closets and More is a proud sponsor of the O'Gorman Knights. Following the same rich, winning tradition, family, and Christian values, JMJ Caseworks strives to create a work environment to call home. Family owned and operated, JMJ Caseworks has several full-time positions available. Our team members pursue career goals, learn new skills, and get the recognition they deserve. To set up an appointment, JMJ Caseworks can be reached at 605-332-0805 or email jobs@jmjcaseworks.com. Go Knights!
Snap give to Dylan Majors around the left side for a gain of nothing. So here we are in the fourth quarter, running clock. It's 49-6, O'Gorman on top.
And that Washington-Lincoln game is actually going to start a little bit early because they're going to do 30 minutes after this one. They're going to start instead of wait till 8. So
school night for the public schools.
Yeah.
School night for me.
We had conferences yesterday.
Yep.
Nice needed break for the teachers.
So a couple of new faces into the ball game right now for the Knights. Handoff, Dylan Majors carries for about 2 yards. And it'll bring up third down and 10. Ryan Bornhoft in, Pierce, Gamarco, Hayden Gross at quarterback. For the most part, the same line as of right now. So we've got some stats being brought into us. Wonderful service here at Howard Wood Field. Gross out of the gun, snap, give. It's just a halfback draw up the middle to Dylan Majors. Doesn't get to the 50. Gain of about 4 yards, and O'Gorman's going to send out, well, looks like the punt unit for the first time this afternoon.
So we got 11 guys.
We are the 6th seed. I don't think that makes sense.
Look at this punt. Look at this line.
Snap, kick, end over end. Caught by Jefferson and no fair catch for London Coldwell. He'll just be brought down by Easton Beavers.
Wildy was talking to White Hat, and he didn't like something.
Be interesting to see what the development is here with Talon Ashley on the sideline for Jefferson. Whether that's just a week-long thing or if that's a season ender.
I mean, that was a clean hit, too.
It just looked like his leg just kind of stayed planted almost on the hit. Like it never really came off the ground.
Twisted up and...
So with 8:40 left, clock continuing to run. It's 49-6, O'Gorman on top. Some stats here for you. Bennett Dannenbring will complete his day with 18 completions on 21 attempts for 283 yards and 3 touchdown passes, a long of 41. So Dannenbring goes for 283 and 3 scores through the air, and then 5 rushes for 28 yards and a rushing touchdown.
And Isaac, 2 of those incompletions were drops, like Konechny and Hagee. So I can't remember the third one, but that's really great.
Yeah, nearly a perfect game for
Alpers had dropped one.
Oh yeah, the diving one, the Alpers.
So that's your 3.
And then receiving for the Knights, Hagee with 7 receptions for 119 and 2 scores with a long of 41. And Satter with 7 for 113 and a score. And then Konechny with 4 for 51. So only 3 receivers have caught passes tonight for O'Gorman. And Maverick Jones with 17 carries for 145 as that ball comes out at the end of the play, but not after Not before they pick up a first down already. And then Maverick Jones with 17 carries for 145 and 3 scores.
Some other scores across 9B. Del Rapids St. Mary 26, Corsica Stickney nothing. You know, hey, a lot of people like these grew up in small towns across the state.
I was going to say, Danbury's putting up those Isaac Struck type numbers, isn't he?
Yeah, there we go.
Gavio Volland 16, Langford area nothing. Howard 20, Kimball White Lake 6.
Quick pass over and tipped incomplete. It's off the hands of number 11, Hunter Robinson.
And this is a new one, North Central. I got to figure where that's at. That one I don't recognize. Wall 14, North Central, nothing.
I haven't seen Robert Hutchinson tonight for the Cavaliers. Hutchinson, maybe he's out injured. I just hasn't had his name called yet tonight. A good receiver for Jefferson so far this season. That one, a give up the middle, breaking off of one tackle and then wrapped up in the backfield for a loss.
Satter's all over. 6 minutes to go in the ball game. As we talked, continuous clock here, the second half.
This one will be over by 7.
I could have gone to that concert. Darn. Robin Dangle, is that what her name?
I think it's Lauren Dangle.
Lauren Dangle.
All right, Dan. Since this game's getting a little out of hand, here's a fun question for you. Do you remember is the key word here, Isaac, your first concert you ever went to?
Oh.
How long ago was it, and who was it, Dan Johnson?
Oh, I think it was...
Elvis?
No. No, I think it was the...
Amadeus Mozart?
Could have been Alabama out in Black Rapid City, 1981.
Oh, nice.
In the round.
High end over end punt fielded by Theobald.
Kenny Rogers in the round. That's what it was. Kenny Rogers in the round in Rushmore Plaza Civic Center, 1981-82. Now, my last concert, Neil Diamond in Sioux City. That was awesome. That was like 15 years ago. I don't go to concerts too much. Coming up on 4 minutes to go.
That one is complete over on the sideline. Ball hits the turf. Wow, they're going to say that he was down.
Yep.
I think that...
Now, Saturday night when I was
Sam
out
Marsh
here,
on the reception.
before the soccer game, when the first game was going long and they went through their overtime shootout and stuff, I was talking with Kyle, and I said, I can tell you, Hayden didn't get that from you, did he? Kyle looked at me and...
Snap, drop back pass. This one complete to Marsh, running around the side where he's upended for a short gain of about 2, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Samuel Marsh, 5'10", 155-pound sophomore.
Third down and 6.
Have either of you two been to the new Jefferson school?
I've driven by it a few times. I haven't
Yes.
been in it.
Yes. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous building out there. They got their own little soccer field out there and everything.
Oh, yeah. Gross will keep and shift away from a defender across the first down yardage, and now there's a flag on the play. Looks like it might be coming back. I think that was Matt.
And Matthew is just kicking himself.
Matthew Viewig, the guilty party for O'Gorman.
Yeah, and he knows it too.
Nice move by Hayden Gross.
Isn't that the worst feeling, though, when you know the flag's on you?
Yeah.
And you're going to watch film that Monday or Tuesday, and you're just hoping the coach fast forwards to those plays. Or
you know a mistake's coming at some point. You missed the read, ran the wrong route. You made a poor effort on a tackle, and you're just like, oh, God,
or
please.
you hope there's the cut in the tape. See, we had tape back. Well, actually, we had film, 16-millimeter film. and I'm totally serious. We actually had to ship it down to Sioux Falls at Herald to get it developed and back on the bus so we could watch it. That's 100% the way we did it.
That's hilarious.
On your black and white TV.
I was just about to say, did you guys paint
Reel
it?
to reel, boys.
Did you guys paint it like a stop motion picture too, or what?
Delay a game. No, it was reel to reel, and it was literally old school. That's the way we had it.
Oh, now that's funny. So Gorman gets called for the delay of game, and the play clock won't start till they break the huddle here. So Gorman could technically just take delay of games here, like the Patriots did.
Of course they did.
Snap, drop back pass. Gross going to let this one fly down the middle of the field, incomplete. Intended for number 6. That was Jack Hove.
Well, one more play.
Did Mike Vrabel do that against Belichick a few years
to get
back?
Back at him. Patriots did it to the Jets on a Monday Night Football game. They did delay a game, and then false start so that they didn't have 3 delay games in a row. Like an intentional false start.
And Gase was the Jets coach, is that right? Okay.
So 6 seconds left on the play clock. Gross will come out of the gun. It's 4th down and forever. Snap, handoff, give. It's Majors running around the right side. Tackled shy of the line to gain, but due to the running clock, that'll just run it out. So that'll do it from Howard Wood Field. O'Gorman blows out the Jefferson Cavaliers 49-6 at Howard Wood Field. Stay tuned for the Knights Locker Room Show coming up next on the Knights, the Knights Locker Room Show coming up next here on Real Presence Radio Network, where we recap tonight's ball game, the playoff implications, and some scores from around the state. And that is all next here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Sioux Equipment Company can fix, sell, and repair gas pumps, tanks, and air compressors. They offer sales and services for lifts, signs, decals, and tank truck equipment in Sioux Falls and the surrounding areas. Sioux Equipment Company is located at 1310 East 39th Street in Sioux Falls, just off of East Benson Road. They can be reached by calling 605-334-1653. Again, that number is 605-334-1653.
Hi, this is Mark Holcraft.
And this is Dr. Joseph Holcraft. You know, Mark, Jesus asks 307 questions in sacred scripture. He is asked 183, of which he only answers 3. What's the business with all of this questioning going on in the Bible?
Well, Joe, there's a lot there, and we'll be ready to take that on. Tune in to hear about these questions and more on Awaken every second and fourth Wednesday at 7 a.m. Central here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Early in his time as the new bishop of the Diocese of Sioux Falls, Bishop Donald DeGroot sensed in prayer the vision that the Lord has for the diocese in our time: lifelong Catholic missionary discipleship through God's love. That is, for each and every Catholic in eastern South Dakota to receive God's love, to be in personal relationship with Jesus Christ, and to share that love with others. Find out more at sfcatholic.org/vision and discover the exciting and beautiful part you have to play in God's plan.
From the Real Presence Radio Network, welcome to the O'Gorman Knights Locker Room Show. Now, back to the field.
Welcome back to O'Gorman High School. To Howard Wood Field for O'Gorman High School football. Big, huge win tonight for the Knights. It was Jefferson was never into this game from the very beginning, and the Knights just took it opening kickoff and went the way.
Well, Dan, O'Gorman was 5 for 5 on scoring touchdowns in the first half. The only drive they didn't was the one they kneeled at the end of the first half. So offensively was terrific. Defensively, before Ashley got hurt, he was really not doing much. 7 for 15 for 31 yards, and he only had 6 carries for 30 yards. So we hold him to 61 total yards of offense in basically 2.5 quarters. Defense played extremely well also, and Maverick Jones had a big game. Bennett Dannenbrink had a terrific, accurate game, I think 18 for 21. So it was an all-out team effort, and that's kind of been the theme the last couple of weeks.
Well, it's been that way for 4 weeks now.
So we're going to get Coach Popinga over here and hand him the hot mic. Coach, I just want to start off with a congratulations on another big victory. And offensively, I think you could have scripted a better first half. 5 drives, 5 touchdowns. The only drive you didn't score is the one you kneeled at the end of the
really a drive.
Yeah,
exactly.
So let's talk about what was working so well for your offense.
Well, our guys are executing really well, and we've kind of I've developed an identity, over the last 4 weeks and what we're doing. And, up front, our guys did a great job. I mean, we knew we wanted to come out and run the football, and we did. I don't know what the final stats are, but, Jones has a big night tonight.
Well, here you go. Maverick had 17 carries for 145 yards, and you guys put up 471 yards of offense.
That's in a half, basically.
Yep.
Our guys came out and played, 2 drives in the second half. And, Bennett's making great decisions right now. I mean, he's really feeling comfortable in the offense, making great reads. Made some big throws. I mean, we had how many touchdown passes that we dropped tonight, too?
We dropped 2 of them, yeah.
He had 3 incompletions and 2 were drops.
Yeah. But, you look at that, the really cool thing about that, Preston, drops the wide open throw.
Yep.
And he tried to go, he saw the guy coming and was like, well, I got to sprint to get this touchdown out of this instead of just catching the football. But then 2 plays later, or next play, Bennett goes right back to him, and he makes just a great catch. I mean, I don't know how many 4th down conversions we had, but, Bennett had a great night. Our receivers, we could have caught the ball better, but overall we made big plays at big times, and, that's what, good teams do, and we're turning into a good team. We told our kids that, well, this was the kind of the marking stick. Did we beat bad teams, or are we becoming a good team? And I think now we know we're becoming a good team.
Absolutely, and your team had 23 first downs tonight, and you guys, like I said a few moments ago, you ran 51 plays of offense for 471 yards, and like you said, most of those yards
I don't mean to be laughing, but those are silly stats, for any high school, football game. It doesn't matter who you're playing against. That just shows the type of execution our guys are having right now, and I'm just really proud of the work they've put in, because week 4, week 5 of the season, and we could have went south really fast and cashed it in and said, well, time to go play basketball. But, they've really believed in themselves, and, hopefully we're going to put a run together. Next week's going to be tough. We're going to get a top team, I think, right away.
Yep.
I mean, more than likely we're going to get, stuck with Roosevelt just because I think they're one of the most talented teams in AAA. But, if we come out and play and work hard and do what we're doing right now, I think we're going to have a shot.
So, just going on with that, I think that what we were told was if it's Washington that wins tonight, there would be a 4-way tie for that, 4 through 7 spot.
And we would drop to 6.
And we would drop, and then that would be Roosevelt here next week. And the only way we host a home game would be if Lincoln wins tonight, and then we would be the 4 seed hosting Roosevelt here.
And,
you
can play the numbers, play the game, say whatever we want to do. I mean, ultimately, if we were to pick and just say, well, who do we want to play, going into it, and we don't really get that choice for Roosevelt, we'd say, well, we'd want to play the, Brandon Valley over Harrisburg just because of how well we played them. So, if assuming Brandon Valley, loses tonight to Harrisburg, then, we're rooting really hard for Washington right now. So, But, we got to win one game first. We can't even be thinking about semifinals. We got a quarterfinal, and it's not going to be an easy game by any means, but the cool thing is our kids are playing really well. They really believe in what we're doing, and that makes us tough to beat, I think. I don't think I'd want to be playing us next week. So
absolutely,
we're going to keep it going and keep rolling, and hopefully we're going to keep playing football for 3 more weeks.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Coach, for joining us, as always, and good luck next week, whoever it is that we get. and wherever it is that we are at.
Hey, thanks. I got to give a happy birthday to my mom. Her birthday was 2 days ago, so I'm going to use my coach's status here to say happy birthday to my mom. So there we go.
Perfect. There we go.
Hi, Mom, from the stands in the radio for everyone who's watching that. I think that's what we're supposed to do back in the day. Wasn't that right?
That's right. So back in the day. Did you guys hear that?
Back in the day. I'm putting myself in the old man category here right now, so appreciate that. And appreciate you guys covering us in this season, and let's go have a playoff run.
3 more.
Absolutely. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. That was O'Gorman football coach Jason Popinga off a nice win tonight. Nice win tonight over Sioux Falls Jefferson in the first ever game between O'Gorman and Jefferson. Let's just stay here right now. Isaac, do you want to go through the stats or a few things real quick? Then we'll take a break and we'll go to the player of the game after that.
Yeah, I just handed away some of the stats to Coach Popping. Good thing I got my trusty computer on me here.
Oh, you are so tech savvy.
Just a tech savvy young man here. Okay, so O'Gorman ran 51 plays of offense for 471 yards. 287 of those came through the air, 184 on the ground. O'Gorman was 3 of 7 on third down, 2 of 3 on fourth down. 2 of those third downs came on when the backups were in there. That didn't convert. So before that, with that starting offense, and I mean, they were like 3 of 4 on third downs. Only had 4 third downs that they faced. O'Gorman picked up 23 first downs in tonight's ball game. They had 6 penalties for 45 yards, so you want to clean that up a little bit before heading into the playoffs. But with an even time of possession between the two teams, O'Gorman really came out and just dominated the game. They had 14 in the first quarter, 21 in the second, 14 in the third, and Jefferson only had 113 yards of total offense tonight. So when you're able to hold Jefferson to 113 yards of total offense on 37 plays, you're doing something right.
And the yards per play for O'Gorman is 9.2. That's pretty good, isn't it, Isaac?
Yeah, absolutely. 9.2 yards per play is phenomenal. And Jefferson was kind of looking like the team that was perfect. Thank you. And Jefferson was kind of looking like that team that was that like O'Gorman was back on the President's Bowl here, as we couldn't get anything going on offense. Jefferson really couldn't get anything going on offense. And like Coach Popinga said, you're kind of rooting on here a Washington win over Lincoln. Despite you having to play your first game on the road, you're going to be playing a Sioux Falls team regardless. I mean, regardless of O'Gorman or Howard Wood, I mean, it's going to be a similar turnout either way. And I think that Coach is right. You'd rather stay away from Harrisburg as long as you can.
I think, and one thing to piggyback off is I think one of the biggest differences from O'Gorman now here in this win streak of 4 games is how they started the games in their first halves. I think the stat, it was a kind of a crazy stat when I was doing Keys to Victory after they had lost to Lincoln, and I think that's their 4th straight loss. They had scored, I think, less than 20 points in the first half in those 4 losses, which is crazy to think now here we're scoring 30, 35, 40 points in the first half. And that's what happened tonight, where you're playing a team like Jefferson who's kind of fired up, final home game. And this was a deer in the headlights look for them after we scored those couple touchdowns right away. And the players, I mean, Ashley, those easy throws he wasn't making and just things there, I feel like they just got all discombobulated. And I think that will be one of the keys next week, whoever we play, is to get off to a quick start.
Absolutely. And I just want to also mention, I hope Taylor and Ashley all the best, as he went down with that injury late in the third quarter, didn't play, and was on crutches for the remainder of the ball game. Just you never want to see that in a ball game like that. You never want to see someone or a team lose their starting quarterback, their go-to guy, that late in a ball game, especially heading into playoffs next week. That's just going to put a really big damper on their chances next week if he's not able to go.
He's a great basketball player too.
Yep.
So that's kind of a rundown quick of the stats. We're going to take a break, guys, and when we come back, we'll have our Pizza Ranch players of the game. We'll find out who those kids are, and that'll be up after the break.
Hi, this is Brett Byler, Area Account Executive with Real Presence Radio. Did you know the signal of Real Presence Radio reaches an audience of over 2.4 million people across North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, Wisconsin, and Wyoming? Have you ever thought about running radio spots on the RPR network? We want to partner with you to help gain exposure for your business in front of a very faithful customer base. To find out more about the options, please call me, Brett Byler, at 605-670-8333.
Real Presence Radio is available on Google Assistant devices, including Google Home, phones, tablets, and smart displays. To start this action, say something like, "Okay, Google, talk to Real Presence Radio." It will then ask what station you want to play, to which you can respond, "Play Sioux Falls," or "Play AM 970," or "Play WWEN." From there, you can use words like play, pause, and stop. Listen to RPR anytime, anywhere on Google Assistant devices.
Hey, welcome back to the night's post-game show. Okay, here's our Pizza Ranch player of the game. Isaac, what's our toss tonight?
Tonight we're going to give out a co-Pizza Ranch player of the game, and the two guys that will be taking home the award is Bennett Dannenbring, who finished 18 of 21 for 283, 3 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground. And then sophomore Maverick Jones, 17 carries, 145 yards on the ground with 3 scores. They rode him like a horse in the first half as he was doing everything on the ground for O'Gorman offensively. And then Dannenbring really making wise, good decisions, as Coach Popinga has said. And if you have 2 dropped touchdowns and then only 1 more incompletion, I mean, he essentially could have been 20 for 21 with 300-something yards passing and 5 touchdowns. So hats off to both of those young gentlemen on fantastic ball games tonight and setting them up for hopefully a successful playoffs.
Tonight's Sioux Falls O'Gorman Knights Players of the Game was brought to you by Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade on 41st Street here in Sioux Falls. Pizza Ranch has a daily buffet and a fun zone for the kids to play in. Pizza Ranch can be reached by calling 271-8646. Now, let's go scoreboard. Let's talk about what's going on across the state, the other games that have a little bit to do.
I'd like to go to the break first, get some of our generous sponsors in, and then we're going to do the final scoreboard update. So hold the phone there for a second, Dan Johnson, and we'll be back in 60 seconds.
Hi, I'm Teresa Curley, Listener Relationship Coordinator for Eastern South Dakota, and I would like to personally invite you to the 4th Annual Real Presence Radio Sioux Falls Banquet on Tuesday, November 2nd at the Best Western Plus Ramkota Hotel. Social hour starts at 5:30 p.m., followed by a meal at 6:30, and Dr. Stacy Tresancos will be the keynote speaker. To register for the banquet, go to realpresenceradio.com/banquet or call or text me at 803-427-3961.
I'm Bishop Donald DeGrood. I'd like to invite you to the Through God's Love Conference on Saturday, October 30th at the Sioux Falls Convention Center. Over the last few months, we've been spreading the word about the diocesan vision, lifelong Catholic missionary discipleship through God's love. Now I'd like to invite you to participate in this conference, where we will help you respond to God's call and in turn help others know and love Him themselves. Visit sfcatholic.org and join me in the renewal the Holy Spirit is working in our diocese.
Welcome back to Real Presence Radio Network as we are getting ready to wrap up our broadcast from this evening. Let's go for some scores from around the state. I'll take AAA, and Dan Johnson can dabble in his A, AA, B, C, Class 11, 35, 6, 7, DFG, Woolsey, Woonsocket, Wessington, Springs, Columbian, Native, whatever the heck it is. Anyway, Roosevelt all over Aberdeen Central, 41-7 right now with 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Rapid City Stevens and Rapid City Central getting ready to set and kick off in the grudge match between the two Rapid City schools. Stevens locked in at the 8 seed. Rapid City Central playing to just get another win on the year. Brandon Valley and Harrisburg, that game is just getting underway. And then the game tonight that is set to kick off in 50 minutes, Lincoln and Washington, to determine some playoff seeding. And this one's got big playoff implications, determining the seeding between the two of them. Lincoln at 5-3, Washington at 4-4. If Washington wins, it's a 4-way tie for that number 4 or that number 3 seed. And in the order of things falling, O'Gorman would actually drop all the way down to the 6th seed because the only tiebreaker they have is over Roosevelt. But Roosevelt has beaten Lincoln and Washington.
Yes.
So that's why O'Gorman would drop back, because Roosevelt has the 3 seed because they have the best win differential out of the teams that are tied. And then O'Gorman and Washington and Lincoln both beat O'Gorman, so O'Gorman doesn't have any edge over those two teams.
But if Lincoln wins, we're the 4 seed playing Roosevelt at home.
Because we would have had the win over Roosevelt, and Washington would not be in the tiebreaker. The tiebreaker would just be between us and Roosevelt, and we had the win over Roosevelt. So I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you don't want to have to play a Harrisburg team. You don't want to have to play
until you get to Vermilion.
But if they were to play Harrisburg in the semifinal game, I almost would rather play Harrisburg on a windy outdoor game than allow them to just set up shop in the dome and pound you on the ground and through the air. You almost would rather have the ball taken a little bit out of Knuth's hand due to some natural elements rather than allowing him to sit back in a 75 degrees and air-conditioned building.
Just a beautiful dome, though, I would say so myself.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
I think it looked great when it was in Brookings that year.
Backhouse Stadium's a lot better.
Jeez. Okay, so Dan, do you want to get on with your B and A's?
Okay, we're gonna start off with 9B, and I know a lot of people in Sioux Falls listen, and you got other listeners, not just here in Sioux Falls, all across the state, to listen to Real Presence Radio. Gayville Vollen 30-8 over Langford. Del Rapids St. Mary's Catholic High School 32-0 over Corsica Sickney. This is all in the first half. Alcester Hudson 20, Sully Buttes 0. Avon over Esalen 8-0. Faulkton scoreless. Let's go to 9A. You got Howard 20-6 halftime. Kadoka 14, all tied up with Castlewood. Wall all over North Central 34-0. That's in the first half. Warner 6-0 on top of Phillip. D. Smith, the Bulldogs taking on Britton Hecla. 8 minutes to go in the first up there. 9AA, just getting started. You have Hanson over Elkton Lake Benton 14-0 in the first. Ipswich Lemon scoreless. 9B, Bridgewater Emory Ethan 41 over Hot Springs 6. So that's at halftime. Big 16-0 winner over Clark Willow Lake in the first half. All tied up down Elk Point. Jefferson over St. Thomas More 21 all there. Mount Vernon Plankington 12, Beardsford 7 into the first half. And 11A, Del Rapids 7, Tri-Valley nothing. Canton 7, Lennox 6 in the first up there. And that takes you through the football.
Perfect. Thank you, Dan. That's a lot of scores to report, and all their playoffs also will be starting next week as well. So
no better time in South Dakota than playoff football.
Final thoughts, Brett.
Terrific game for O'Gorman. I mean, when you got the opponent they played tonight and the weapons they had with Ashley and Wilde, and I think overall this might been the best performance for O'Gorman based on who they played. Defense was terrific. We didn't talk much about that, but they weren't doing much when Ashley actually was playing. And offensively, boy, Benedetto, what a game he had. The offense is rolling. The line is playing well. We're getting healthier. Good to be an O'Gorman night right now. Got to get a good week of practice and prepare for a tough opponent next week.
So I'd like to just briefly mention the tremendous offensive performance from, like Coach Popinga said, you put up 471 yards of offense against a team like Jefferson. It's not like we were playing Huron again, but like a team like Jefferson, and all pretty much in a half. The running clock in the second half and the backups the whole fourth quarter. When you put up that many yards of offense and that efficient and effective, you're going to be tough to beat on any given night. And Popinga is happy as ever about the performance from his team tonight. He seems like he's as confident as he's been in a while with these guys. Seems like everyone's pretty excited down there on the field, and everyone's just playing well together. So I think the teammate and the chemistry is finally starting to gel really, really well down there for the O'Gorman Knights.
And he talked about how they believe in themselves. And
yeah.
That's a big key right there, as you know. And they're finally, the first couple of games, after third or fourth game, I'm sure he was kind of lagging a little bit, and all of a sudden they came out, the confidence, they believe in themselves. We're headed to Vermilion. We got 3 games to play. And it was a fun game. Even though it was a blowout, it was still a fun game. But I'm going to diddle what you guys said about Dannenbrink. He has really come out and taken over the football for the Knights.
Absolutely.
Kind of like what you did. I still think you're keep coaching him on the side.
Maybe.
So
we'll let you know, folks, on our Twitter page tomorrow once we do find out. Probably know that after tonight, actually, after this game at 8 o'clock, who O'Gorman is playing and when it is. And no matter what, we'll be there streaming and broadcasting. So that'll be exciting. It'll be next Thursday, because it's the Thursday, then a Thursday, then a Friday, and then the Saturday if you make it that far.
So join us tomorrow night. Brett will be live streaming the girls volleyball, number 1, number 2. Sioux Falls O'Gorman Knights, number 2. Washington Warriors, number 1, at O'Gorman High School. If you're not there, live stream on Real Presence Radio YouTube page, and you can watch it there. So,
and varsity game will start around 7. And then also quickly, good luck to the O'Gorman boys and girls cross country runners Saturday, Yankton Trails Park. Girls at 1, boys at 2:30, and to the cheer and dance teams on Saturday in Brandon Valley as well.
Coach Aaron Strand. So for Brett Byler, Isaac Struck, I'm Dan Johnson. We'll see you next Thursday night, hopefully from the MAC. Go Knights. God bless.
From the Real Presence Radio Network, O'Gorman Knights football has been brought to you in part by
Catholic Family Services, Catholic Community Foundation of Eastern South Dakota, Jardine Construction, Barnett Vision Clinic, Bishop O'Gorman Catholic Schools, McGuire Iron, Sioux Equipment Company, Ferendorf Family Chiropractic and Wellness, Closets and More, and JMJ Caseworks. The BB Agency, Knights of Columbus Insurance, Crossroads Book and Music, Pizza Ranch, and Fun Zone Arcade on 41st Street.
The preceding O'Gorman Knights activity has been a special presentation of the Real Presence Radio Network.